Hi, hello South Texas. Meteorologist Andrew Wilson in tonight, tracking some strong to severe storms that are moving into our region from the north and west. Now, we had been talking about this earlier on today. These storms continue to make their way toward the south and east, pretty much at about anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour, and they are going to be impacting a large swath of South Texas. Notice where they're at right now. Northern portions of Edwards, Real, and Kerr counties are being impacted by a severe thunderstorm at this moment. We also have similar conditions right now off towards portions of eastern Gillespie and western Blanco counties. And then another complex of storms is located along that I-35 corridor, moving through eastern Travis County and into portions of Bastrop County. Now, thankfully, that is outside of the Kent 5 viewing area, but the storm in Gillespie and Blanco County, as well as stretching into portions of Edwards, Real, and Kerr County, that is impacting areas right here located within that Kent 5 viewing area. So let's get the lowdown of each of these storms that we have moving through at this moment. Putting everything into pause, you can see that this is a very electric storm. A lot of hail associated with this one storm that's moving down from Junction down into portions of especially Kerr County. That's really where the hail core is. What we're seeing there in pink is up to maybe about billiard ball size hail. In other words, maybe even up to possibly golf ball size hail in some isolated spots there in northwest Kerr County. That's going to be just northwest of Highway 41. That is drifting to the south and east, so that will be impacting the corridor of the Highway 51 area, and that will then continue its way down towards the south and east. Hunt, Texas, watch this part of the storm real closely. You are included in the severe thunderstorm warning. Ingram, Texas, while you're not included within the severe thunderstorm warning, I still think that you could get your own sometime over the next 30 minutes. Alan wants to know, will Devine get hit hard? The answer is, it's possible, but these storms are going to be weakening as they move down to the south and east, and Devine doesn't have as much of a risk for severe weather like what they have further on off towards the north and west into the hill country, like into Kerr County. A lot of people asking about Bexar County, and Judy asking about Kerr County. Judy, I'm glad you're watching. We're talking about Kerr County right now with this one storm. Thankfully, Kerrville not included in this severe thunderstorm warning, but you definitely could get a lot of noisy thunderstorm activity through your area here over the next possibly 30 minutes to the next 45 minutes. Maybe even dealing with this other storm that is not severe, making its way kind of due east, right here. This one storm is non-severe and could be impacting the Kerrville area very soon. I'm going to give a little bit of a circle to it. A lot of lightning associated with that, and also a lot of heavy rain. That's something else that we have associated with these storms. Right now, there's a flash flood warning up into the Junction area. So all that water is going to flow into the Llano River. If you know anybody who could be camping next to the Llano River, make sure they're keeping an eye on the river levels there, as all that flood water, of course, has to go into the river and flow down. Right now, no flood warning expected for the Llano River as of right now, but if that does change, I will be sure to let y'all know that. Very heavy rain, though, associated with these storms, and flash flooding will definitely be a possibility for some spots that get a lot more in the way of rain. Teresa says, too many storms. Yeah, it's been really stormy here as we've headed throughout the last 2 months. See a lot of questions about New Braunfels and Floresville and just different areas. What about us? What about us? What about storms in my region? The answer is everybody is under a severe thunderstorm watch, pretty much everybody, until about 2 a.m. So right now, the only places being impacted are northern Edwards, northern Real, and really western portions of Kerr County, and then eastern Gillespie, western Blanco County. But take a look at this. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in place until 2 a.m. for everybody pretty much along that Highway 90 and I-10 corridor to the north. But you see even some counties south of that are included. Take a look down towards Dimmitt County, Zavala, Frio, Maverick, Atascosa, Wilson, Karnes County, and DeWitt County, as well as Lavaca County, all within that severe thunderstorm watch shaded in pink. So if you're in that area shaded in pink, then you are also going to be at risk for some stronger storms tonight. Now, remember, these storms do weaken as they head down to the south and east. Let's hope they collapse even quicker than what's expected. Could you show a future track on these storms, Lori? Yes, I'm going to show that here in just a moment. I wanted to show what radar is looking like right now again, and also take a quick look at the wind speeds within these storms. because that's another risk that we have, is damaging wind. Right now, wind is not as much of an issue with this one storm that we have over here in Real County into Edwards and Kerr County. But this storm up towards Blanco County did have some stronger winds earlier, and the one up towards Travis County was much stronger earlier on too. I just want to give you an idea on what the National Weather Service is calling with as far as size of hail in this one storm. The answer is golf ball size hail possible and 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which is definitely a severe thunderstorm, definitely within that realm, and a very strong storm. So we do have that risk for severe weather today. We had been talking about it all throughout today and all throughout the last few days. The slight risk for severe weather that includes San Antonio, and marginal risk for areas further down to the south and east. That enhanced risk, or the higher risk for today, was expected up towards San Angelo, and that's where these storms are coming from as they continue to die out and travel down to the southeast. That's a quick look at the 7-day forecast, but I want to bump things back to the future clouds and radar. So let's take a look at it. Future clouds and radar showing that by the time we get to about 8 p.m., you notice it's handling these storms pretty well. That's pretty much where we're seeing the storms at this moment. We always talk about model initialization. How is the model doing right now? If it's doing good now, it has a better outcome further down the line. And right now, it's doing pretty good at showing where the storms are. There are a few things out of the place, like right now it's not raining in Uvalde and down towards Cotulla. But the storms to the north look like they'll sweep down through Bexar County by about 8:30 p.m. So San Antonio, take a look at the screen here. 8:30 p.m. impacting you as well as areas along that Highway 90 corridor stretching off towards Seguin, Gonzales at about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Pearsall could be getting some heavy rain at that time, some strong to severe storms. They continue to move south and east, moving into parts of Karnes County, DeWitt County DeWitt County, excuse me, by the time we get to about 9:30. And then the storms get really far south there by the time we get to 11 p.m. Notice what's going on in the hill country. I'm talking Kerrville and Fredericksburg by about 11 p.m. I think that is sub-severe. In other words, nothing strong or severe about that, just some extra rainfall occurring, and those showers will even collapse by the time we get to 2 a.m. And we're going to wake up tomorrow on Saturday with quieter conditions, which I'm sure a lot of us are going to be happy about. So I'm going to run this through one more time because I know a lot of people have been asking questions about what about my town, what about my town. This is another way that you can know when those storms are going to be impacting you. So storms are right now pretty much in the hill country and north of San Antonio. Once we get to about 8:30, 9 o'clock, they're through Hondo. They're still impacting areas of San Antonio, though, there, and east of San Antonio along Highway 90. The storms are kind of spread out across there. Moving into Floresville by about 9 o'clock. We had a lot of questions about Floresville earlier. What about Pleasanton, Atascosa County? Pretty much 9 o'clock as well. Southern Atascosa County by 9:30. And then these storms are pretty much south of our Kents 5 viewing area once we get to about 11:30. And again, seeing a few showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, possibly a good amount of rumbles of thunder with those showers and storms in the hill country at 11:30 p.m. But I expect nothing severe as those collapse, and then things are quiet again for tomorrow morning. So we talked about future clouds and radar. I'm going to come back to it later on in this update. I'm going to be live here, guys, for probably quite some time. Notice all the strong to severe storms that we have all across the state, stretching from the I-35 corridor well into West Texas, impacting the Monahans Sand Dunes area. Not far from there. If you know where that is, kind of located here just west of San Angelo. It's a beautiful state park. It's one that is on my bucket list here for the state of Texas. Haven't made it there myself, but kind of closer on towards Midland. A lot of strong to severe storms moving through there along that I-20 corridor. So bumping it back to what we're seeing right now for the Kents 5 viewing area, we do have the 2 severe thunderstorm warnings that are issued. We have a third one that's impacting areas to our east, but that's more into the Austin viewing area. And you see Edwards County, Real County, Kerr County, that's where our main storm is. I think that this storm in eastern Gillespie County and western Blanco County is much weaker, but if you are under that storm, you're probably saying right now, weaker, are you kidding me? This thing is so noisy, so much strong wind with it, a lot of heavy rain, but I don't think that storm is as much of a concern. If I pop back up hail, you'll notice that it has weakened a lot compared to what it had earlier. If I back this up, closer on toward about 7:07 p.m., we see a little pocket of quarter-size hail. That's why they issued the warning in the first place. But now it looks like that hail core has really collapsed, Meanwhile, though, in northwest Kerr County, that's where we have some better hail occurring. And I don't mean better in a good sense, but larger hail, rather, occurring. That is west and northwest of Kerrville. Seeing a question about any hail for San Antonio. Johnny, no, not right now. We do have the possibility for some hail later on tonight, though. Courtney's asking about Bernie. Nothing to be too much concerned about in Bernie at this moment. I believe they've gotten through with the graduation ceremony now, which is good news. They should be done with it by now. I was talking with Bernie ISD earlier this morning. I said, they asked me, should we push the graduation ahead to 5 p.m.? And I said yes, because I felt like these storms, by the time we got to 8 o'clock, were going to be impacting Bernie. They would have needed an hour and a half in order to get through the ceremony. And I said, it's just going to be too close. And sure enough, here's these storms coming down into Kendall County now. Severe thunderstorm warnings in counties to their west and to their north. Let you know that strong storms are definitely coming down closer to Bernie. Thankfully, though, nothing severe in Bernie right now. Likely hearing some rumbles of thunder, flashes of lightning in the sky, and hearing that rain possibly in the distance. Will it hit Hondo? And what about Bandera? The answer is yes. Both of you are under severe thunderstorm watch. I talked about that just a moment ago until 2 a.m. And I do think that this storm is going to be shifting down towards the south and east, towards Bandera. So yes, this one storm that is severe could head down towards Bandera. And I do think it's going to clip Hondo too. Now, does that mean that the hail core is going to hold together and impact you? The answer is possibly not. It could, though, still hold together and make it down and impact Bandera and Hondo. So I'm going to be staying on here. Guys, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. So don't worry. These updates are going to continue until I don't see that there's any risk anymore for any damage to property or any risk to life here in South Texas. But, of course, severe thunderstorms can be very dangerous, and that's why I'm on here giving updates. Teresa wants to know how many inches of rain with this one. You know, we could get 1 inch to 2 inches of rain with just this one round in some spots, especially west of I-35. Now, here's the good news. Medina Lake is still very low. So we need a lot more rain in Bandera County where the fill area is, or the runoff area is for Medina River that runs into the Medina Lake region. So let's hope we get some heavy rain into Bandera County, but not flooding rain. Some heavy rain that can help to refill Medina Lake because they need it, and hopefully nothing severe either. Hopefully this storm collapses and just puts down healthy rain in Bandera County. Janet says, thank you for the info, no problem. Hope wants to know if this is going to hit Seguin. The answer is, I think that you are going to get storms through Seguin, but the severe part of the storms may just miss you. Let's see here. What about Comfort? Yeah, Comfort could definitely see some strong storms. You had a few rumbles of thunder earlier on, but these stronger to severe storms are kind of just on your doorstep in Comfort. There is a storm that just moved south of Kerrville, or is just southwest of Kerrville right now, rather. That is going to be moving through Comfort. Nothing severe with it, but there is a lot of rumbles of thunder and a lot of heavy rain. That will be moving right through the Comfort area. Let's see here. Deborah says, just watered my plants. Oh no, Deborah, I hope you can get them in somewhere dry where they don't get too much rain on them. Let's see here. Kylie asking about Divine. The answer is these storms still well to your north and west. So you're down here in Divine, and these storms well up here. There's still a lot of time for these storms to collapse as they travel south and east. I'm not going to tell you that you are going to be impacted by these storms. I do think you're going to have storms of your own tonight, some rumbles of thunder. But as far as the big threat of these storms, nothing just yet. But you are under a severe thunderstorm watch. That means that severe weather will be possible at least until 2 a.m., where you could have large hail and damaging winds. So, you know, keep an eye on the weather tonight in Divine. That's basically all I can tell you right now. But not going to guarantee that this storm is going to impact you. It's still a very far way away from you. How about New Braunfels? Sarah wants to know. Right now to your north and west, a lot of thunderstorm activity and some heavy rain falling in parts of New Braunfels. Nothing severe warned in New Braunfels at the moment, but these storms off to your north and west are trying to kind of cluster together and will continue to dip south, possibly impacting you in the next 45 minutes. Any for Tilden? Jared wants to know. Jared, you're going to get some rain very late tonight. It's probably going to be closer towards 2 a.m. that you finally see some rain. You are not under a severe thunderstorm watch. I don't expect any severe weather for you, but you're at least going to get some heavy rain here as we head throughout the very early hours of tomorrow morning. How about San Marcos? Yeah, that's a good question. You know, in San Marcos, they do have a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity. Thankfully, though, that severe storm that went through Travis County and actually did a little bit of damage missed you to the north and east and will continue to shift off to the east, missing San Marcos. You are going to get some heavy rain. You are going to get some lightning, but doesn't look like anything severe for you for now one. But you will have the severe thunderstorm watch. Scott wants to know about the impact in Bulverde. And you know, these storms are still too far away from you to know for sure what the impacts could be. You do have the severe thunderstorm watch. As I said a moment ago, I'll mention it again. Damaging wind, large hail could be possible later on tonight. These storms still are about 45 minutes to an hour away from you in Bulverde. Rachel wants to know, will Pleasanton get any more severe weather? Should I move my vehicle in? Rachel, it's possible you could see some large hail in Pleasanton later on tonight. And I would, if you're going to go ahead to bed or something and you don't want to have to worry about jumping up early in the morning and possibly rushing your vehicle undercover, go ahead and move the vehicle now undercover tonight. There's no rush. These storms are still well north of you in Atascosa County. It's going to take a couple hours for them to probably get to you in Pleasanton. So don't rush out somewhere to go put your car somewhere safe, but be thinking about what you should be doing as these storms continue to dip south. Canyon Lake, Michael wanting to know. The answer is you do have a strong storm to your north. I don't think it's going to be severe as it goes through your region. You are going to get a lot of lightning, heavy rain, and some strong winds, but nothing too crazy. Will there be a lot of wind in Divine with these storms? Alan, the answer is it's definitely possible. That's why we have the severe thunderstorm watch in place. The conditions in the atmosphere are right for us to possibly see severe weather down into the Divine region. John's saying there's rain in Green now. Yeah, I see that on radar. Definitely a good heavy downpour in parts of Green too. Gerardo wants to know, are there going to be any tornadoes? The answer is very much a lower risk. So we have a fairly good risk for large hail and damaging winds. We're actually seeing that in some of these storms now. But these aren't going to be the type of storms that would produce a long tracking tornado. The chance for tornadoes is not zero, but it is much lower. So I hope that answers your question. Martha is curious about the Uvalde area. Let's go ahead and move a little bit further off to the west. It looks like you're going to have some storms, maybe just barely clip Uvalde. I think you're going to get a lot of lightning and heavy rain. As far as the amount of hail is concerned, you still have that chance. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in Uvalde. But this initial line of storms, I think is going to miss Uvalde for the most part just off to the east. Let's see here. Guys, I'm trying to answer all the questions. I've seen a ton of them coming in. What about Lackland? What about Live Oak? Bexar County as a whole, these storms will approach us probably in the next hour to hour 15 minutes. Large hail, damaging wind will be possible, but it's not a guarantee. We're at least going to get a lot of lightning and heavy rain from these storms. I can guarantee that. If you could go ahead and get to where you're going to be for the rest of tonight, I will go ahead and do that. And guys, remember what I said, how tornadoes were not as likely? Well, I told you it wasn't a 0% chance, and this is why. Sometimes you do get tornadoes to form, and we right now have a tornado warning that has been issued for Fayette County. Now, this is considered outside of the KENS 5 viewing area, but I want to go ahead and stay on this and keep everybody updated because I know at least somebody on this Facebook Live may be watching from the Caldwell, Bastrop, Fayette County area. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rotation in this storm. I'm going to go ahead and put everything into pause real quick after this runs through just one more time. And there's where that rotation is. So it's not significant rotation. Let me go ahead and circle this for everybody. This is going to be near Spring Perry. right along Texas Highway. I believe that is 304. So this area of rotation is moving off to the east. I believe that town name is Kovar. I'm going to go ahead and guess. It's going to be near Highway 95, staying north of Cistern and south of Togo and south of Smithville. So let me see what the National Weather Service is saying about this tornado warning, guys. Give me 1 second. So they're saying it's a radar-indicated severe tornado warning. And when they say that, they're talking about how it's indicated by what they see on radar. Whenever we have a confirmed tornado, it's whenever somebody has seen the tornado with themselves and it's been confirmed with the National Weather Service. But this is a radar-indicated, which means it looks like we have a tornado from what we see within the radar, but it hasn't been exactly confirmed. Now, don't try to go outside and confirm this yourselves. You know, stay inside, stay in your safe spot as this tornado goes through. That safe spot, of course, the lowest level area of your home, most interior room, and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And you may be wondering, well, why do you always tell us to do that? The answer is debris inside of tornadoes is what hurts and has the possibility of killing people. That debris can get thrown through a wall and it can get thrown through multiple walls. And the more walls you have between you and the outside, the more walls that piece of debris has to hit, slows it down, and leaves you in a safer situation. I also say put on a helmet because this is the most important part of your body. Keep your head protected. Of course, your heart's important too, but keep your head protected, guys, because you want to make sure you have your wits about you in case anything happens. There's a lot of reports of hail in different areas, pea-size hail at least, from the National Weather Service. They had a report of quarter-size hail in Blanco County. So that's going to be, they say, 6 miles north-northeast of High in Blanco County. Not 100% sure where that is. I'm willing to bet that's closer to Johnson City, though. Let's see here. I'm checking up a few things from the National Weather Service. We always stay in close communication with them. We let them know when we're seeing something that we think could be happening. They let us know when they see something they think could be happening. And again, this tornado warning considered to be outside of the Kent Spot viewing area. But guys, I just want to continue to keep everybody updated on that too, just because I'm sure that we have a couple people here on our Facebook Live wondering about this. Jenny's saying the internet is down in Atascosa County. Do you have any idea what time the storms will hit the area so we can check back? Jenny, the answer is these storms should be impacting the Atascosa County area, likely around the, I would say, let me get a good check on the time here. It's about 7:48. I would say at about 9:30, Atascosa County. And I know that you're in southeast Atascosa County. I know you're one of our loyal viewers here on the Facebook Lives. I would say after 9:30 for you in southeast portions of Atascosa County. Any storms tonight in Cuero, DeWitt County, in Cuero rather, which is in DeWitt County? And Mandy, the answer is yes. We have the possibility of strong to severe storms for you. You are within a severe thunderstorm watch that is in place until 2 a.m. What about Tehanis? What about Lackland? What about Cuero? See a lot of questions about different locations. And guys, with all of those questions being asked, I'm trying to scroll through everything. Let's see here. How's Bernie looking? Yeah, a lot of questions. So guys, let me go ahead and just cover everybody. We're going to go through future clouds and radar. We're going to continue to keep people updated on these severe storms and that tornado warning, I promise. We're going to bump it back on radar here in just a moment. But I want to talk about what future clouds and radar is showing since we have so many questions coming in. So remember, our main line of storms that we're dealing with right now is what is located just off to our north. Let me go ahead and put a pause point here, guys. That way I can draw something out on the screen. So here's where our main line of storms is right now. This model actually doing a pretty good job at initialization, letting us know where the storms are. These are our stronger to severe storms. Everything right here, this is actually not occurring, so the model has a little bit of a mishap. It's not picking up on that properly. So that actually is not occurring. So remember, these storms to the north is what we're watching. Let's move through the timeline. I'm going to close my box here and let's scroll through. By the time we get to 8 p.m., remember, watch that timestamp in the top right corner of your screen. This is 8 p.m. Strong storms approach Hondo. So I think that this weather model, of course, is a little off with that. Hondo right now not dealing with that. Hondo, Tehanis, Uvalde areas, Castroville. I would expect closer on towards the time period where these storms are impacting San Antonio, which if I scroll through, 9 o'clock. Strong storms impacting the San Antonio region. 8:30 to 9 o'clock, these storms move through there. Seguin, same time period, 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Gonzales, similar, 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Floresville, we're talking 9:30. Pleasanton, same for you. 9 to 9:30, these storms move through for you. Pearsall, possibly at your time. Devine, Texas. We've had a lot of questions about that. We're talking about 9:30. By 9:30 itself to 10 o'clock, Cuero, southeast Atascosa County for you, Jenny. Down towards DeWitt County, Wilson County still being impacted. We see it all the way down to Karnes City, so in Karnes County. And then it continues down to the south and east. The stronger storms moving into Goliad County by about 10 o'clock, and then they're out of our region by midnight. Now, you still see those showers and storms off toward the hill country, Gillespie and Blanco County. I do not think those are going to be severe. I think they'll be sub-severe. In other words, they're going to be possibly strong, but not going to have quarter-size hail or 60-mile-per-hour winds. Possibly a lot of thunder and lightning, possibly some heavy rain, but nothing too much to be concerned about. Once we get to about 1 a.m., they collapse, and we're quiet the rest of the evening. So that's a quick run-through of what we're expecting. Remember, we do have the severe thunderstorm watch in place until 2 a.m. for pretty much all of the KENS 5 viewing area, with the exception of areas down towards Cotulla and LaSalle County, Tilden and McMullen County, Live Oak County, Bee County, and Goliad County, Victoria County. None of you are included in the severe thunderstorm watch, but you will still get some sort of a rain event tonight. Just not looking like you'll have anything severe. I see a lot of questions about areas around San Antonio. Guys, I'm grouping San Antonio as a whole here. Right now, there is no way to precisely tell you golf ball size hail in this one location. These storms have not moved in. We have the possibility of large hail, but there's no way for me to just absolutely nail down, yes, right here, golf ball size hail. But if that changes, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying live on here, guys, until the severe warnings have ended. And by the way, speaking of that, we just had a new severe thunderstorm warning issued until 8:45. This does include Kerrville. This does include Bandera. All of Bandera County pretty much, with the exception of when you get closer on towards Lake Hills and Medina Lake as a whole. So most of Bandera County included, all of Real County included in this, and eastern portions of Edwards County also included within this severe thunderstorm warning. So the National Weather Service in San Antonio has issued this warning for the risk of ping pong ball size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. I see a lot of people saying thank you for the info. No problem at all. I'm happy to continue to keep you all updated. Let me go ahead and erase this real quick. Let me get an idea on the hail size within this storm. So we have a few pockets of hail. There's a few hail cores within this. The largest hail core, which is putting down possibly ping pong ball size hail at this moment, is located in northern Real County. We have another one that's putting down quarter size hail south of Kerrville, between Kerrville and Bandera. And then we have a third area that has a hail core that's going to move south and east towards Hunt, Texas, possibly producing quarter size hail. Those three hail cores all drifting to the south and east. Excuse me. So let me zoom out again. Let's take another look at this storm that's over towards Bastrop County. If you're joining us from Bastrop County, still a lot of hail possibly associated with that storm, golf ball size possible even there. And we still have the tornado warning. That's no longer in place for parts of Caldwell County. So it's now only Bastrop and Fayette counties within this tornado warning. Still approaching the Kovar area and the Highway 95 corridor there. That's the area of rotation. Let me go ahead and circle it again, because sometimes when you're looking at this, I understand that y'all may not completely understand what you're looking at. This is velocity and winds. We have winds going towards the radar site here, and we have winds going away right here. That lets us know there's some sort of area of rotation. Now this rotation is broader, which would let us know that possibly the tornado is weakening, or maybe it has even lifted. But because the warning is still in place, there is still a tornado possible located right here. So take this serious. If you have any friends in southern Bastrop County, maybe far western Fayette counties, maybe let them know that this possible tornado is occurring. Remember, Tornadoes are a much lower risk for today, but that's not a risk of 0. Let's see here. Thank you for the info. I live in the Bexar County, so taking it easy, basically. How's New Braunfels and Seguin looking? The answer is you still have a lot of storms just off to your north and west, but those are going to be drifting down to the south and east, possibly impacting you later on tonight. Kate says, doing a good job, thank you, no problem. Jason says, can you roll back radar? Yeah, I can roll it back a little bit further if that helps. Let me go and roll it back by 5 hours. So you see where these storms came from. Up towards Laredo and even all the way up towards Waco. If I run it forward, that timeline in the top right corner of your screen shows how these storms formed. They kind of intensified there, and now they're kind of really branching out as they continue south and east. Now, something that we typically look at to get an idea on if a storm is still intensifying, we like to look at the lightning data. How many lightning strikes have occurred in the last 15 minutes? And the answer for this storm over Edwards, Real, Gillespie, and Kerr County is 2,800 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. This is an extremely electric storm. So I would say this storm is not backing down at all. Now, I will tell you that is a huge area. If I were to go ahead and get a distance on that storm, that's 70 miles by 60 miles, give or take. So that's a huge area that we're seeing that across. But still, that's a lot of lightning for that one storm. Very electric storms tonight. Marie wants to know about Helotes. Right now, a lot of heavy rain not far from Helotes, just off to the north. You are going to have the possibility of strong storms later on tonight, especially these storms just off to your northwest. I do think those are going to be approaching your region. Thankfully, the hail core is not as intense as what they were earlier on. If I run this back, take a look at northwestern portions of Kerr County. That's where we had radar trying to show that there could have been baseball-sized hail in the far northwestern portions of Kerr County. That was radar indicated, though. Sometimes radar overestimates how large hail could be. It may have been doing that there. And thankfully, that hail core has kind of collapsed as it's made its way deeper into Kerr County. But a new hail core has formed in Real County. Let's take a closer look there. This is going to be north of the Garner State Park area, just north of the Lost Maple State Natural Area. But if you know anybody camping out there, it's a place where you don't really get good cell reception, but if you can get a hold of them, let them know to go ahead and head somewhere safe while these storms move through. Arthur wants to know how the wind is. Strong winds, but not seeing as much of an issue in the way of winds right now. Let's see here. Jason says, do I need to put the van in the garage? Jason, right now, not as much of an issue, but I would try to do that before you go to bed, before you try to go ahead and get comfortable for the night. I would go ahead and try to get your vehicle to a safe spot. Maybe put it in the garage or put it under cover somewhere safe. Because these storms are going to be bringing the possibility of large hail tonight. So I would say go ahead and do it. If it's not too much of a trouble for you, go ahead and make sure everything's safe for your property as we head into tonight. Roseanne wants to know about the Government Canyon Natural Area. Yeah, that's another beautiful spot. The answer is we do have the possibility for strong storms down that way later on tonight. These storms right now impacting the Kerrville area, stretching all the way up into Kerr County, Bandera County, Gillespie County. Those are going to be dipping to the south and east, possibly impacting Government Canyon State Natural Area later on. So I see the question, how about San Antonio? Is it coming this way? The answer is yes. We are going to have the possibility for strong and severe storms in San Antonio tonight. Diana wants to know about Rockport. Rockport could have some strong storms. You are not included in a severe thunderstorm watch, though. These storms will weaken a lot by the time they arrive in Rockport. And Ronnie wants to know about the Canyon Lake area. Right now, Canyon Lake does have a good thunderstorm over it. Nothing severe, though, for your region at this time. So that's good news. So I'm zooming out a little bit, guys, and I'm looking around on the screen just to get an idea of everything going on. We still have this severe thunderstorm warning until 8:45. This does include eastern Edwards County, into Riel County, western portions, really actually now all of Kerr County pretty much, and then stretching into portions of Gillespie County on the southwest portion there of Gillespie County, closer on towards Harper, though, right now. A lot of intense thunderstorm activity. And a lot of lightning, guys. This is a dangerous situation in itself, the amount of lightning strikes. I mean, if I go ahead and highlight this and get an idea on the count, 2,715 strikes in the last 15 minutes. And let's actually just look at Kerr County. So pretty much just the Kerr County area over the last 15 minutes, 1,788. Man, this is wild. This is a wild thunderstorm right now in Kerr County. Continuing to dip down to the south and east. Really, really electric storm. You know, I was on the phone with Bernie ISD earlier on today. I told them that they asked, is it a good idea for us to move the graduation to 5 o'clock? I said yes. And I think they've gotten everything done out there now as these storms move closer and closer, and already have some thunderstorm activity in Kendall County, but not impacting Bernie just yet. I see a question about Del Rio. You know, Valverde County is actually under severe thunderstorm watch, but it's not until 2 a.m. It's actually until 11 p.m., and I think a lot of these storms are going to miss you in Valverde County tonight. That's great news. I know that you're happy about that. Henry says, what about Leon Valley? Yeah, storms in Bexar County closer on towards 9:30. Henry. Let's see here. What about Uvalde? Yeah, I think they're going to clip Uvalde closer on towards 9:30, 10 o'clock. So we got a question about Temple, Texas. Yeah, Temple, pretty much done for you right now. You're fine. You just had some pretty good storms go through there, though. That Temple, if in case you didn't know, well at the I-35 corridor, that is also considered outside of our viewing area. Arthur wants to know, is Bill here with me, and is he keeping track of the storms? Yeah, Arthur, Bill actually he just ran out real quick to grab some food and came back just about an hour and a half ago before the storms came in. And big shout out to Bill. He hooked me up with a burger tonight himself. So big shout out to him, but he is in-house. He's back in the Weather Center, keeping track on things behind the scenes, keeping everybody updated on the TV side of things. So you'll be seeing him cut into programming every once in a while to give updates on these storms, while I continue to keep everybody updated on what we consider the digital side. On the KENS 5 app, KENS5.com, Facebook, YouTube, all those platforms we're live on giving updates, and we're going to stay live until things quiet down. Tammy says, thank you for keeping us updated and prepared. Ready to rock and roll. Got my phone charged and my battery powered. Lights ready. Tammy, that's great points right there. Guys, remember, charge your phones. With 2,000 lightning strikes in that one storm, basically from Riel County through Kerr County, that lets you know power outages are going to be possible. Make sure your phones are charged. Make sure you have flashlights ready. Make sure you're ready in case the power goes out, because it is going to be a possibility tonight that we lose power for a couple of hours. Iris says it is already pouring in Bulverde. Yep, pretty good shower right there. Nothing severe with that, but a pretty good shower right there. Gabriella says, thanks for the update. No problem. So guys, I'm going to bounce it over here one more time for this tornado warning. I have to admit the rotation has not been as significant with this as what it looked like earlier. We'll see if the National Weather Service continues with this warning. That area of rotation crossing the Highway 95 corridor just around the Cistern region. Rotation located right here. And it's kind of moving south and east. So Allison saying, how fast is it moving? We need the rain for Medina Lake. It's moving pretty quick, Allison, but it's very heavy amounts of rainfall. So I think that this rain could continue to help out Medina Lake as it dips down into Bandera County. Of course, the flow area for the river and what would help fill up Medina Lake stretches from pretty much here and stretches well off through here. This is kind of the flow through section for Medina Lake. And I think that we're going to get some good rain through there. That's going to continue to help to fill up the lake even more with all the rainfall that we've had the last few days. Donna wants to know about Lake Hills. Yeah, storms are coming down and going to impact Lake Hills in about an hour. I can't guarantee you if you're going to see hail or not, because these storms are still well too far away for that. But definitely going to get a lot of lightning and heavy rain. I mean, check out the amount of lightning strikes, guys. The last 15 minutes, this storm is very electric. 2,606. So that's 200 less compared to what we saw earlier. Maybe the storm is starting to weaken a little bit, but still obviously very strong with the amount of lightning it has. 2,603 now. Jessica wants to know anything expected for Uvalde, and the answer is, yeah, I think it's going to be possible these storms could clip you on the west side of these storms could clip you. I think that the more intense part of the storm is going to miss you, but still could be pretty strong. Something good about this storm. I'm no longer seeing any large hail. I see nickel-size hail. I see pea-size hail, but nothing that would be severe level hail within this storm. Still some pockets of strong winds, though. So the National Weather Service is going to continue with the severe thunderstorm warning for a good reason. So guys, I'm trying to make sure I answer everybody's questions. Yvonne wants to know anything coming for Floresville. Yes, Yvonne, you could get some strong storms between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. So up in Austin right now, looks like they are having issues with water rescues in Austin. So please, guys, make sure that you are being careful. Don't get into any floodwaters. We want to make sure everybody is staying safe with all the heavy rainfall that we have possible tonight. Now, guys, I'm going to relay something to our newsroom real quick, so I'm going to turn down the volume real quick. I just want to make sure they're aware of something that's going on too. But, of course, yes, a lot of heavy rain associated with these storms, a lot of lightning associated too. So please take these storms seriously, and remember, flooding could be an issue at times with some of these storms. So guys, yes, still a severe thunderstorm warning that's in place for Bandera County, Edwards County, Gillespie County, Kerr County, and Riel County. Now, we still have the tornado warning in place for Fayette County, but it looks like the National Weather Service just trimmed back the tornado warning, and now it is no longer including Bastrop County. So, again, Fayette County considered to be outside of the Kent Spot viewing area, but I still want to give updates on this. That rotation actually now even outside of the tornado warning itself, so they may actually end up redrawing this. We'll have to see. That area that is a concern is right over Colony now, along Highway 95. That green, that little blip of green right there against the reds is where that possible rotation is. Tornado warning is until 8:15, by the way, so not much longer. Henry says, use common water sense or common sense to flood water, everybody. Henry, that's a great point. If you can, if the water is over the road, don't try to drive across it. Don't try to go swimming in flood waters. If the water is swift, that's something that I really want to bring home for this Memorial Day weekend and make sure that everybody understands. If there is swift water, guys, don't go in there. Especially now, whenever the water can come up real high, even if it looks lower at that time. Remember, whenever we have a lot of high water move through, that can sometimes free logs and sticks, and you may be the best swimmer in the world. But if you end up with a 300-pound log that is coming down the river and you don't see it because it's underwater and you get trapped under it, it doesn't matter if you're a good swimmer or not. Just remember that. And always use common sense. Don't enter the water alone. I grew up on the water, swimming in the Chesapeake Bay when I was a kid, and then swimming in the Pearl River when I was a kid too, back in Mississippi. And I can tell you, my parents always said, don't get in the water alone. Doesn't matter how good of a swimmer you are, always be with someone. Please be careful, guys, if you do intend to do any swimming around some of our beautiful waterways for Memorial Day weekend. Daisy asking about Bernie, Texas. Yeah, right now we do have a pretty good storm that's approaching Bernie. Nothing severe for Bernie at this moment. We have a lot of lightning strikes in the area, so it's good to go ahead and stay inside. And guys, this is actually a good point for everybody. If you're not where you're going to be for the rest of the night just yet, go ahead and get there. Maybe you're actually going to head out and spend some time with family. Maybe you're about to go spend some time in another part of San Antonio. Maybe you're about to go spend some time with friends tonight in another part of San Antonio. Maybe that event doesn't happen for another hour. Go ahead and give a call. Hey, can I come over an hour early? I don't want to go drive out in the strong to severe storms. I don't want to put myself at risk. I'm sure whoever it is will be happy to see you a little earlier. Just, get to where you're going to be tonight. That way you don't have to put yourself at risk. I think these storms will be through San Antonio by the time we get past the 10:30 hour, or 10:30 half hour rather, and we should have quieter conditions move in. Derek says, is it done with Junction? The answer is yes. Junction now has quieter conditions moving in, which is good news. But other parts of the I-10 corridor, stretching through that northwest portion of Kerr County, still having a lot of lightning and heavy rain impacting them. Ashton says, turn around, don't drown. Exactly. Brandy says, I think there's a chance Canyon Lake slips between the worst of both storms. And the answer is, it's possible. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, the worst of the storm to your east is well to your east. I mean, we're talking not even western Caldwell County. We're talking east of Lockhart even. There for Caldwell County for the severe part of that storm. Bastrop County having a severe thunderstorm in the heart of Bastrop County. And then Fayette County is pretty much getting the worst of that storm too. Know anybody traveling that I-10 corridor? Give them a phone call. I know we have a lot of people on the roads. It is Memorial Day weekend. It is not going to be a fun drive on that I-10 corridor over the next hour to 2 hours. May want to just kind of take a break. If you maybe needed to head to Houston, just maybe wait till tomorrow morning. Go ahead and get to bed early tonight. Wake up tomorrow morning. Beat everybody awake. By the time you get to Houston, everything will be fine. But tomorrow morning should be fine for driving. So if you had to do any traveling tonight, maybe you want to wait till tomorrow morning because conditions are going to be fine for traveling tomorrow morning. It's just tonight, a lot of these storms, not really great conditions to be out on the roadways. Jason wants to know about the boundary line. He keeps asking about it. I've seen it, Jason. I've just been trying to ask some of the questions, answer some of the questions about who's dealing with what right now. The boundary line is pretty much just sweeping right through here. And as that continues to push down to the south, there's actually kind of, I would say actually more right there through that region. Because we actually have some winds pushing up against it right there. That's why that tornado warning was able to issue in the first place. We had some winds pushing up against the boundary as it shifted down. And whenever you have those difference in wind directions, a little bit of shear, you get a spin up. And that can cause a brief tornado. And that's why we had that tornado warning right now for parts of Fayette County. Ashton says, thanks, my dude. No problem. Brandy says, thank you. No problem to you. John says, heavy rain in Green now. No winds, but some lightning. Yeah, John, thankfully, I think the worst of the storm is going to miss you off to the east. And the other storm that's pretty severe in eastern Kerr County, I think it's going to miss you off to the west. So that kind of answers the questions for Canyon Lake, too. And New Braunfels. I think the worst of both storms are going to miss you to the east and west, but you're still going to get a lot of lightning, heavy rain, maybe even some pea-sized hail. Courtney says, hey, Andrew, when will this hit? Bernie need to make a Walmart run. The answer is, it's kind of hitting there probably, I guess, within the next, let me see here. Let me give you an exact timeline. Courtney, if you can complete your Walmart run within the next 30 to 45 minutes, I think you'll be okay. But if you keep it closer to that 45-minute mark, you may still see some storms. So if you can't get it done in that amount of time, maybe just wait till after the storms are through. Of course, Walmart is open late. So if you have to head out there, maybe at let's say 9 o'clock after it's all said and done for you in Bernie, or 9:30, just go ahead and wait. Just started pouring in Kerrville with the winds, strong winds. Yeah, and I bet a lot of lightning too. Pretty noisy thunderstorms right now. Taking a look at the lightning counter again. Earlier it was showing 2,800 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. We're down to 2,112. Still a very intense storm, but not as intense as what it was earlier. So that's good to know. Let's take a look at hail. It's been a while since we looked at that. The hail cores, I noticed earlier, were collapsing. I think they continue to collapse. Still very strong winds, though, associated with these storms. Yeah, I would say still the possibility of damaging wind there in Kerr County west of Kerrville. Maybe just a move through Hunt, Texas. Maybe some strong damaging winds possible there. And these are continuing to the south and east. Let me get a look at that highway. I believe that's 16. Yeah, Highway 16, about to move down into Bandera County is where we have the stronger winds. Now, you see some reds and greens there. I do not think that is the possibility of tornadic winds. It's a very broad rotation, so no issue there, but I'll keep an eye on it in case that changes. Pea-sized hail in Ingram, Texas. Ashley, thank you for that report. Any reports that y'all can give me, as long as it's safe to give me those reports. Don't go outside and put yourself in a dangerous situation. But if it is safe for you to give me a report, guys, I appreciate that. Don't forget, also, if you can get a picture safely, remember, we would love to share those pictures with the community. Send them to us at eyewitness@kens5.com. Send it to that email address and include the location, please, because we want to know exactly where this may have occurred. You can also send it to us in our inbox on Facebook. We would love to be able to share them that way. And again, include the location of where you took that photo. You can share it to us on Twitter. You can share it to us through the KENS 5 app. There's actually a tab on the KENS 5 app where you can click on it and you can share an image. And again, include that location so we know where it occurred and we can relay that information to the community. And speaking of relaying this information to the community, we're live on a lot of different platforms right now, including on TV. If you're wondering where Weather Chief Bill Taylor is at this moment, he is live on KENS 5, CBS affiliate here in San Antonio, giving an update on these storms as they move through. Right now he's talking about the severe thunderstorm and the possible tornado warning that we had earlier on in Fayette County and the severe storm there. And he's also talking about the severe storm that we have in Bandera County, Kerr County, with the possibility of the larger hail and the stronger winds. So if you're wondering where he is, he's out here right now, still in the building, giving updates on TV at this moment. Amber says, now raining in Kerrville. Any hail for Helotes with this storm? The answer is possible. Thankfully, all the reports that we've had from this storm, from viewers, Stephanie, has just been pea-sized hail. So nothing damaging right now. But that doesn't mean that this storm couldn't re-intensify, get its act together, and then possibly start to put down large hail again. What about Shirts? Kelly, we could have some strong storms down into your area closer on towards 9 and 9:30. What about 1604 in the Potranco area? About 9 to 9:30 as well, I would say. Pouring right now in Bulverde. Anything severe headed our way? Nothing severe in Bulverde, but definitely some heavy rainfall. And if anything severe forms, I will be sure to let you know right away. Again, guys, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here. And honestly, we do have a new storm that's forming that's pretty intense, right over New Braunfels. Let's take a look at that hail core. Make sure nothing crazy is happening. Maybe some pea-sized hail kind of right over Green at the moment. And that's going to be drifting down southeast towards the I-35 corridor. That's a heavily trafficked road right now. A lot of people traveling for the holiday weekend. If you are traveling on that I-35 corridor, make sure that you put yourself in a safe situation, as pea-sized hail could be associated with this storm. Kay Marie wants to know about Canyon Lake. You know, a lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning with this storm, possibly some pea-sized hail, but that's all we're seeing, not seeing anything else from it. Looks like the tornado warning was allowed to expire, so no more tornado warnings out there. I'm going to check with the National Weather Service real quick, see what they're talking about. They say they are going to issue a flood advisory mainly for Kerr County. And what does that mean, you may be saying? That means that some low-lying areas could be dealing with flooding within the county due to heavy rainfall that is occurring at this moment. Could lead to some low-lying areas to flood, areas that typically flood when we have heavy rain. We're not talking about any widespread major event, but areas that typically flood in Kerr County could see that flooding occur with this heavy rainfall moving through. All right, and they said they felt comfortable allowing that tornado warning to expire. That was for Fayette County earlier on. So right now, 2 severe thunderstorm warnings. And I say only 2, but they sure do cover a huge area. We have one that is located for Bandera, Kerr, Gillespie County, Real County, and Edwards County until 8:45. We have another one that now includes northeastern Gonzales County, by the way, which is located within our KENS 5 viewing area, Caldwell County, Bastrop County, Lee County, maybe even not Clifton-Williamson County, but very close to it, and then down towards portions of Fayette County. That's where the other severe thunderstorm warning is located. That storm has the possibility of damaging winds and also some large hail. And by the way, let's look at hail in both of these storms. Looks like the hail core has really shrunk in that storm and in the storm that's mainly over the hill country. But honestly, the only hail core that I see growing right now is over green. That's like nickel-sized hail. And if that continues to grow, I'll continue to stay on it. Don't worry, guys. But another hail core that I'm watching closely is near Center Point, which is eastern, southeastern Kerr County, west of Comfort. Now, if you're in Comfort, you may be saying, oh, you said hail and Comfort in the same sentence. I think this hail core is going to miss you to the west. This is going to travel south and east along 16 and 173, those 2 highways. That's kind of what the hail core is between right now, and that's about quarter-size hail. So that's just within the realm of being severe weather level hail size. So once we get to nickel size only, that would be sub-severe. Not a strong storm, but nothing severe. Kelly wanting to know about Nixon. Kelly, I think a lot of these storms will collapse by the time they get to Nixon, but the Nixon area is under severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m. for the possibility of strong storms. So you want to keep an update, have a way to receive alerts throughout tonight, and of course, if there's anything severe, you're going to see me right here giving updates. I'll be on right here giving updates all throughout the night as long as we have a chance for severe weather. How about Medina, Texas? Any hail expected? We do not have any yet. Yeah, Medina County, severe thunderstorm watch in place, so you do have the possibility of it later on. Right now, these storms are to your north. What about Bexar County, I see? And guys, with all these questions about different locations being asked, it has been a while since we looked at future clouds and radar. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So, future clouds and radar, a little bit ahead on this side of the storm complex. Give me 1 second. So a little bit ahead on this side of the storm complex. Obviously, right now it's not raining in Medina County, at least not that much. But it's trying to say the strongest storms are through at that time. Right now, these storms are really kind of more up here. But I think that by the time we get to 9:30, these storms will start to move through portions of Medina County, including down towards Hondo. Once we get to 10 o'clock, I think Pleasanton will be impacted by storms and down into southeastern portions of Atascosa County. Notice Bexar County being impacted by a bulk of the storms by about, I would say 9:30. They continue to move into Floresville by 9:30, 10 o'clock. Moving southeast towards Cuero, Karn City by about 9:30, 10. Same thing for southern Atascosa County. Still seeing some storms in the hill country by about 12 a.m. Maybe saying, well, what's the deal on those? What's the deal on these storms up here? I don't expect anything severe out of those. Just some good heavy rain and maybe a little bit of lightning, but nothing too much to be concerned there at 12 a.m. And then we continue through the timeline. Things are quiet for the rest of the evening after midnight. So the severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m., but I think we could see quiet conditions even before 2 a.m. by midnight. Pouring in San Marcos, I bet. Bro wants to know about Blanco County. Yeah, Blanco County's seen a little bit of storms, but nothing severe there right now. Kelly says, thank you for the weather update. No problem. Let's see here. Am I going to see Cody Johnson at Whitewater in New Braunfels tonight? RC, they may have to delay the concert. Let me go ahead and take a look at New Braunfels again. Let me see how much time you got left. So they just actually issued the severe thunderstorm warning. Remember how I told you that hail core was growing? Looks like it grew large enough to make it a severe thunderstorm warning. Looks like it was maybe just within the realm for a moment, but maybe it weakened. Let me see why the National Weather Service issued this. So 60-mile-per-hour winds, and they say quarter-size hail, but it looks like our radar is not estimating hail at that size. There's also going to be the threat of strong winds, though, and maybe there is a little bit of rotation there near Green and New Braunfels. Let me show you what I'm talking about. That little bit of rotation located right here. So if you're in New Braunfels, you're in Green, or if you just know somebody in that region, go ahead and give them a phone call. Let them know, hey, that meteorologist at Kent's 5 that's always live on Facebook, he sees some rotation right now in New Braunfels near Green. You may want to get a check-in on that. Because, again, I want to make sure everybody is aware of what's going on right now. No tornado warning yet, but definitely a little bit of rotation there near New Braunfels and Green. This will be passing across that I-35 corridor, likely between Green and Hunter, that little bit of rotation. But right now, no tornado warning, just this severe thunderstorm warning for strong winds and possibly some maybe nickel to quarter-size hail at most associated with that storm. Guys, don't worry. I'm going to continue to watch that storm, but I want to keep an update on some other storms too, as well as what the hail could be doing over here in Bandera County, because it looks like that hail core has grown. Northern Bandera County into southern Kerr County, we now have possibly up toward, maybe even up to ping-pong ball-size hail located between Highway 16 and Highway 173. I'm going to check Facebook again. We're live on all sorts of platforms, but we can also answer questions on Facebook if they're dropped in the comments. Brittany wants to know, why is there always a blank circle in New Braunfels? And Brittany, I can answer that real easy for you. If I move it over here to New Braunfels, there's a blank circle that is located right here. Let me take off lightning and you'll see it. This blank circle that's located right here, that is the radar site. So there is a little bit of a dome right there where it doesn't pick up data because it's too close to the radar site for it to be able to read anything. But Brittany, thank you for that question. Yeah, that little circle is the actual radar site. So if you went right there, which is by the airport there in New Braunfels, you would see this big white globe near the airport. That big white globe is the radar site that gives us all of our data for whenever we look at the radar. Let's see here. Will Pipe Creek see hail? It's possible we see a little bit. 0.53 inches in Kerrville so far. Amber, thank you so much for that report. Will Bulverde and Spring Branch see hail? They could see a little bit of hail later on tonight, but right now not looking like any issues for you that is threatening you at the moment. Lightning in Windcrest, and it's flashing. Thank you for that report. Anything on the south side of San Antonio? Lisa, the answer is not yet. Still got a while before these storms get to you. What about Castroville? Annette, still a while before the storms get down to you, but right now a lot of intense thunderstorm activity just off to your north. And if I move it over to the west, you'll see that. There's where Castroville is, located right here. And these storms are still well off to your north and west, but they are drifting down into your direction. Will San Antonio see hail? Arthur, I think that parts of Bexar County will see at least pea-size hail, but it's too early to confirm if we will or not and how large they could be. These storms are still too far away. Hopefully they weaken and we don't see any at all. Mary Jane says, Austin was so bad. Yeah, very intense thunderstorms there and a lot of heavy rain has led to a lot of creek flooding in that area too. They've had a lot of issues on the Bull Creek region, Bull Creek Greenway. Beautiful area to hike in Austin. I'm sure it was very popular today. I used to hike it all the time myself whenever I was on lunch break, when I worked at my past TV station up there. I'd go over to the Bull Creek Greenway and I'd take a little bit of a hike to enjoy the beautiful trail. But they've had a lot of water that's caused some flooding there too. Let's see here. Brittany says, thank you, no problem. Sarah says, we are in campers at Medina High Point. Yeah, I'll tell you now, I would go ahead and get to a more sturdy structure. So Sarah, what I would tell you is if you have any sturdy structure nearby, maybe somewhere within driving distance, even if it's just a gas station, go ahead and get in the car and drive there. Because large hail and strong winds, you don't want to be in a camper. I would just try to get to a more sturdy structure. Maybe there's just somewhere you can get into nearby. Maybe there's a building on the premises where you're camping. But try to get to a safer spot. Because strong winds and large hail is nothing to play with. Not seeing any damage from this storm just yet, but strong winds again and large hail is just not something I would not want to be in a camper during that. William is asking about the Selma area. You are under a severe thunderstorm watch, but nothing extremely threatening for you right now. You do have the severe thunderstorm warning in New Braunfels off to your north and east, but that does look like it'll miss you. Let's see here. How about Sabinal? Sabinal, everything's well off to your north still. Andrew Hamilton saying NWS just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Comal and Guadalupe counties until 9:55. Yeah, we had been looking at that, Andrew. The severe thunderstorm warning has been in place for a pretty good amount of time now. Oh, you're talking about this storm over here, maybe. Well, no. This one's not until 9:55. This one's till 9:30. Not sure what you could be talking about there. But we do have the one that's issued until 9:30, and it's been issued for pretty much the last I'd say about 10-15 minutes. Still could have the possibility of large hail with this. I think that's going to be one of the main threats. Have a lot of strong wind with it. We've also had a little bit of rotation that was located closer on towards Green. Doesn't look like it's actually much of an issue anymore, the rotation, which is good. You want me to say that. If it's not as much of an issue, that means that I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I'll keep a close eye on it. Taylor says there is hail in Green. Taylor, if you don't mind telling me how large you think that is, don't go outside and put yourself at risk. But if you can see it from out the window, how large is that hail that you see falling? Just a guesstimate. Andrew saying TV interrupted the ball game. Oh, Andrew, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. But I hope everyone's staying safe at least. Coming down very hard, still 2 inches, more than 2 inches in Green. Terry, thank you so much for that report. Taylor says it is, or Terry says that, excuse me, and Taylor says pea-size hail. Taylor, thank you so much for that. I appreciate your report. That really helps us be able to relay the message to everybody else who could be impacted by this storm. So New Braunfels is in Green area. We're talking about pea-size hail for you. And that's what the radar is showing too. So radar estimation is pretty much on point for who's seeing the size of hail that we're seeing right now in the storm in eastern Comal County. So we have a tornado warning, it looks like now, for Fayette County in LaGrange. And guys, this storm is actually going to be impacting an area that is considered outside of the KENS 5 viewing area. But I'm going to talk about this real quick. So that area of rotation, it's kind of hard to see with the Houston radar. So I'm switching between radar sites here. You'll notice that there's colors changing on the screen. When I'm right here, I'm picking up the Houston radar. When I'm over here, picking up the radar that's located near, I believe it's Granger Lake? Or no, I'm actually picking up the New Braunfels radar site, excuse me. So let me take a closer look here. I think that area of rotation is looking like is located right here. This is going to be why the National Weather Service issued a tornado warning. Making sure, yeah. So we have a tornado warning. Thankfully, this is staying south of LaGrange, which is a more populated area, but obviously we don't want a tornado warning at all. We don't want a tornado to impact anybody. But this area of rotation is going to impact the Ellinger area, which is along Highway 71, Hallman, I believe it's Ammonsville. I may be saying that improperly. You'll have to excuse me. This is going to be an area that was impacted by a tornado actually just last week, I believe it was, when we had the tornadoes make their way through parts of Fayette County. Looks like we have the possibility of another one to impact there. Joe wanting to know about SeaWorld. Joe, right now, no issues in SeaWorld. I'm going to zoom it out and show you. Nothing severe in Bexar County. We do have strong to severe storms off to our northwest. I will tell you, this storm has been collapsing. Honestly, we don't even need a severe thunderstorm warning for Edwards County anymore. You can see that. It's not even raining. They've had one lightning strike in Edwards County in the last 15 minutes. Riel County could probably be taken out of the severe thunderstorm warning too. The amount of lightning we're seeing, still a lot, 1,883, but that is 1,000 less lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes compared to what we saw earlier on this evening. If I run this back, it's going to take it a second for it to populate this, so you'll just have to give it a second. At about 7:50, we had 2,800 lightning strikes in 15 minutes. Here we are at 8:35, and you see much less lightning strikes occurring within that box. That lets us know the storm is weakening. So let's hope that continues as this heads towards Bexar County, knock on wood. A lot of lightning and thunder and now rain in Pipe Creek. Yeah, Beth, there in Bandera County, y'all are really dealing with the thick of it now. Kind of the stronger part of the storm moving through your region. And let's go ahead and look at the hail size right there, because not far from you, they do have some larger hail off to the north of where you're at. You see kind of a quarter-size hail. It looks like the hail core has shrunk. That's good. Still about quarter-size hail, though, possible between Highway 16 and 173. Let's hope that continues to shrink. And let's hope we just get healthy rain to help fill up Medina Lake. That's where we want it to fall if we want Medina Lake to fill back up. I see, will these storms collapse? Looks like we get another round at 10. That second round, I think, is not going to be very much severe storms. I think that's just going to be some healthy rain and a little bit of lightning, but I don't think it's going to be severe as they move through. I think that these storms are going to take a lot of energy out of the atmosphere, and it's going to stop us from seeing severe storms. By the way, those storms that you were just talking about, they're the ones that are located well off to the north and west, impacting the areas closer on towards Lubbock. Let me go ahead and circle it right through here. These are going to be trying to speed up. They're going to speed up, and they're going to dip down towards the south and east. I'm not sure what my system's doing right now. It's trying to multiply all the arrows that I'm drawing. But they're going to be speeding up and catching up to this initial line that we have. But again, too much energy has been taken out of the atmosphere, and they will be collapsing as they continue their way off to the south and east. Let's see here. Rain is finally starting to slow down in Green. Still 2.3 inches has fallen. Terry, thank you for that report. That is a lot of rain. How bad is it now in Kerrville? Still a lot of heavy rain, but not as severe in Kerrville. I'd say that the stronger part of the storm is already through, but still a lot of lightning and heavy rain there. Arthur says, not related, but who is the best player for Mississippi State? I'd say it's Dak, too. Dak is I'd say a stand-up guy. Take care, everyone, from Mary Jane. Raul says, what about Adkins, Texas? Adkins could still see some strong storms, but again, that's because everybody's under that severe thunderstorm watch until we get to about 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. Beth says, no internet where she's at there in Pipe Creek. Not good news, Beth. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope you can get internet restored here pretty soon. Dale says, can this storm take these big mosquitoes with it? Yeah, I've heard that the mosquitoes have been really bad, especially closer on towards Gonzales County. And I hope those storms continue to move through and hopefully maybe knock out some of those mosquitoes. But unfortunately, this rain is just going to help these mosquito populations possibly grow even more. Lost satellite in New Braunfels. 1 inch so far in Kerrville. Elmendorf timing, please. So, looks like, yeah, we are having some issues with some of these storms. And let's go ahead and look at that timing for our friend in Elmendorf. So here's a look at that for Michael. So, Michael, by the time these storms get to Elmendorf, I'd say it's going to be about 9:15, 9:30. That's your timeline for Elmendorf. So they're moving to the southeast pretty quick. This storm really has picked up pace. It may even be closer to 9, maybe between 9 and 9:15. This storm in Bandera County has picked up the pace and is really booking it now to the south and east. So has this storm that's now approaching Seguin. Let's take a look at the hail cores again. Looks like the hail core continues to shrink in northern Bandera County. And Bill Taylor, the man himself, is in-house. He actually just brought me some water.
You need a break?
You sure you want to give me a break?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Bill has had a little bit of a case of laryngitis recently.
Yeah, no. And
so
it took me down about, 2 days, 2.5 days.
Yeah. Sorry, the camera's a little bit down here, guys. But yeah, Bill's had a little case of laryngitis. If you want to take a break on talking, though, just hit me up and I'll be in the newsroom if you need.
Yeah, I'll just take a couple minutes if you need,
Yeah.
Take care of anything or just get a good little break, because I was watching the storm that, we're of course most concerned with is what's happening right here, north of Bandera, right up Highway 173, and you see the hail core. This is a good coverage area. I mean, a very small hail core, absolutely, and it's going to be affecting the I-10 corridor pretty soon. I mean, right between Comfort and Bernie got their graduation in, right?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. Andrew was talking to the Bernie ISD and trying to get their graduation off without a hitch, and that happened. So we were real happy about that. But what we're going to watch for is to hopefully see this storm weaken. But if you're just joining us, recap. Severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m. and includes San Antonio and the Metro, as far south as Karnes City and Kennedy, over to Cuero and Hallettsville, down to Pleasanton, even down to Cotulla. Well, not Cotulla, but down to Carrizo Springs and Crystal City. So here's the setup. You've got a really good outflow that has just blown up the thunderstorms right across central Texas and now pouring down into our area. Now, here's the thing. The big coverage area, and look at the size of that severe thunderstorm warning from Edwards County and Rock Springs, which is obviously in the clear now, all the way through Kerrville and into Bandera. I mean, just about covering all of Bandera County. What I want to do is take the lightning off so you get an idea of something I notice that's a good sign, is that we're seeing some weakening in a very strong storm. I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to dissipate or break up, but it's certainly looking like it's getting a little bit weaker. I mean, it's still producing a tremendous amount of lightning, but when you see that little break off, let me show you what I'm talking about. Right in here, you'll see that the storm breaks off. I put that arrow too close. Hold on one second. Let's see. Okay. So right in here. See where it breaks right there? Watch that spot. Boom. See where there's a little break? That's a good sign. But there's still some very, very intense areas of the storm, and it's mainly the eastern side of it as it moves into, again, just about cover all of Bandera County. So far the hail hasn't been, dangerously large, but large enough for some damage. And that's why, again, we really want to make sure that we've got a good take on where this is headed. So let's go ahead and storm track this guy. And it's going to be out to, how's everybody doing tonight? I want to make sure. What's up, Julian? Elizabeth, how are you? Torrential rains for Beth and some very strong winds. Where are you? Yes, Dawn, I definitely think Helotes gets this, but it's going to be closer to probably about 9:30-ish. Just based on the trends, this is starting to try and drift southeast, but most of these cells are moving east. But the whole thunderstorm complex is moving southeast.
And if you need to see NWS chat, I also have it up on that computer.
Oh, great. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm going to head back to the studio real quick.
Okay. Let me show you, let's see where we're going. Southeast at 30. So that's what I wanted to make sure as we go southeast at 30. There's the new warning that now includes San Antonio. There's the new warning that Hey, Andrew. Just wanted to make sure that we get a crawl on the air for that because that's very important. Now this warning does include San Antonio as we expect this storm to hold together into Bexar County. And you can see just how large and reaching this new polygon is. So this is in effect now until 9:45, and it's going to include a good portion of Bexar County. Moving southeast, it's actually picked up a little speed, 40 miles an hour. In fact, it picked up a lot of speed. Can I say that? That during the 6 p.m. newscast, when I was tracking this cell near Junction, it was only moving at about 15 miles per hour. And that's why you see the flash flood warning for Kimball County. See the green up there? Right up there, east of Sonora. So that's almost all of Kimball County under flash flooding, a warning. So there's flash flooding across I-10 and mainly across the side roads in the Junction area. It's because that storm was moving so slowly, only like 15 miles per hour. Now it's moving at 40 miles an hour. So let's get this tracked out at 40 and show you where it's moving. I like to do the leading edge. So this is when the first of the rain should be moving in. And again, almost a little more east and southeast, as you just saw in that fresh sweep. Kind of like this. Okay, so if you're in this box, you're preparing for winds of about 60, gusts up to 70, and quarter-size hail, okay? Maybe up to golf ball size. So we've got it in Pipe Creek, 8:47, Bernie just before the top of the hour, 8:57, Helotes at 9:14, Leon Valley at 9:25, downtown. Whenever you see San Antonio proper in the box, that's talking about downtown. Did you run the crawl?
No, I just came back in here because I was wondering if you were wanting to take back over TV just because of the...
yeah, if you want to swap it out? Okay,
yeah.
Let's do that then.
I know we just swapped out, but I appreciate
AT&T Center, 9:42. No, yeah, I'm glad you're able to take it. And now Dawn, as well as a lot of you in Helotes, get an idea, as well as Leon Valley, 9:25. These are some very densely populated areas, western Bexar County. Prepare for damaging winds, 50 to 60, with gusts up to 65 or 70. And I know I saw you working velocities on this right before I did a break during Magnum PI, and I saw what you saw, which was a little rotation in this cell. So that could still be a possibility with this cell as it moves a little bit closer. So I'm going to pass things back off to Andrew Wilson as you take a look at that storm track.
Yeah, and guys, remember, Bill's not going anywhere. He's going to go handle some things on air, and he's probably going to be on Kent's 5 CBS here in just a moment, making sure everybody who could be watching TV and maybe not necessarily keeping updated with us here on this weather update here on Facebook, YouTube, the Kent's 5 app, and Kent's5.com. He's going to be giving everybody an update at home, making sure they know what's about to happen here and possibly San Antonio as these storms continue to drift on down to the south and east. So that's kind of like how we like to tag team weather here at Kent's 5. Bill will handle a lot of the on-air stuff, and I'll handle some of the digital stuff. And sometimes we pass things back and forth. That way some people can get a little bit of a break at times. So Daniel is saying this is on the edge of our viewing area. He knows, but he says that Fayette County is reporting 18-wheelers flipped over on I-10 and flooding is occurring. Yeah, definitely possible. They've had some pretty serious storms move through there. You see that severe thunderstorm warning right now moving through parts of Fayette County. So let me go ahead and bring back up radar, guys, and let's take a closer look down into Bandera County. And I just saw something before lightning populated. That was a really heavy rain core that is making its way over Medina Lake. I'm going to turn lightning off here in just a moment, right there. So that is very heavy rain right now, moving over Bandera County and towards Medina Lake. Medina Lake a little bit down to the southeast here, but you're about to see some very heavy rain move through there. Landing at the airport at midnight. Is this rain passed by then? Alicia, yes, this rain will be out of here by the time we get to midnight. How much longer for areas between New Braunfels and Seguin? I would say that you still have, if it's not already raining, it's how much longer before it's done? I was about to say, wait a minute. We already have a storm occurring in New Braunfels and Seguin. I would say you still have about 30 to 45 minutes of rain. The worst of the storm, though, I believe has already is really kind of passing through your area right now. Really, the worst of it's to your east, but not much longer, I would say. You're still going to get lightning and rain over the next hour to hour and a half, but the worst of it will be over, I would say, probably in about the next 15 to 30 minutes, actually. So that's good news for you. Let's hear. What about Castroville? Annette wants to know. The answer is you are in this new severe thunderstorm warning, but this storm that is warned is still well off to your north. I'm a little surprised how the National Weather Service drew out this warning. Despite the severe part of the storm being kind of right here, they drew a big warning polygon. So nearly all of Ken's from Bandera County or Bexar County through Bandera, through parts of Real, through parts of Kerr. This is probably one of the larger warning polygons I've ever seen. But the area that's of more concern is right through here. That's where we have the possibility for some of the stronger winds, the larger hail, which thankfully has weakened a lot. But this is the really strong winds. You see those bright greens right in this region. That's going to be where we have the really strong winds. And that looks like it's going to be moving through Bernie. If you are in Bernie, be prepared for strong winds. If you're not where you need to be right now, get there. I remember not long ago, I guess it's been about 30 minutes to 45 minutes now, I had someone from Bernie ask me, hey, is it good for me to head to Walmart? I said, if you can get it done within 30 to 45 minutes, yes. But if you can't, don't, because this storm is going to approach right around that 45-minute mark. And sure enough, it's been about 30 minutes now, I'd say, and I'd say she has about 15 minutes before this storm makes its way into Bernie. But definitely probably already dealing with thunderstorm activity, just that more intense part of the storm moving through Bernie at that time. We also have the severe thunderstorm warning still in place for Comal County, stretching into Hayes County, Caldwell, and Guadalupe County. That is until 9:30. So we still have about 30 minutes left on that warning, really about 38 minutes left. Seeing what the National Weather Service is saying about this warning, because it does seem to be fairly large. Seeing what they have to say about it. Looks like they just issued it. I don't see any special statements about it here within our National Weather Service chat, but it definitely covers a very large area. The main issues with the storm within the severe thunderstorm warning, they are saying is going to be 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So cool. All right. So it's looking like the more severe part of the storm, though, again, eastern Bandera County, very southeastern portions of Kerr County, and very southern portions of Kendall County are going to be the areas that I would say are the main concern. Yes, the severe thunderstorm warning covers a huge area all the way over into northern portions of Uvalde County. But I'm telling you, if you're in Uvalde County, I'm not worried about this storm. I would say I'm not worried about this storm being severe for anybody who is west of, I'm going to draw the line, right here. And honestly, some spots east of that line, likely going to be fine. But I would draw that line right there, and I would say anybody east of that line is where we're seeing more of the severe storms. Yes, we do have a storm that's located west of this that is putting down lightning and heavy rain, but I don't see anything severe with that storm. So, yeah, I don't even see strong winds. So it's a huge severe thunderstorm warning polygon, but again, areas of Bandera stretching into Pipe Creek, stretching further off to the east, southeast, stretching into Bexar County. I would include you in this warning. I say you do have the possibility for strong to severe portions of this storm, especially down towards very northwestern Bexar County, and it will continue its way to the south and east. John says, all quiet in green. Good to hear. Stephanie says, what about Helotes? The answer is the stronger part of this storm could barely clip Helotes. We definitely have really strong winds here along 46, where it meets 16, southwest of Bernie. That could clip Helotes. That could be damaging winds. This is, right now, we don't have severe size hail in this storm. Well, we did in a moment ago. Looks like the latest update now shows larger hail. So as of 8:44, nothing, 46, nothing, 49. But then once we got to about 8:50, it looks like we've had quarter-size hail form again in the Pipe Creek region. So right where we see the stronger winds, looks like we also now have some larger hail. Really, the main part of this storm that is a concern, and the whole reason why we have a severe thunderstorm warning in place, is everything that's going on right here. That's the severe thunderstorm. I know that the National Weather Service issued this huge polygon, but guys, the severe part of this storm, right through here. And that is drifting towards the south and east. So let me get a timer on this. Let me see how quickly this is moving down to the south and east. Looks like it's traveling at 40 miles per hour. So let me erase everything just real quick, guys. And let's get an idea of communities that are going to be impacted by this storm as it continues to its way south and to the east. So I'm going to draw it way out here, even a little bit outside. So it looks like Bernie could be impacted by about 9:01, so within the next 5 minutes. Fair Oaks Ranch by about 9:10. Notice we're going down that I-10 corridor. Not good to be driving on that right now. Helotes by about 9:13. 9:23, Leon Valley could get some strong winds and large hail. San Antonio, we're talking downtown, by about 9:37. By 9:40, the AT&T Center region. China Grove by 9:49. 10 o'clock, we're talking St. Hedwig. So if you're in any of those areas, that's when this storm could impact you with strong winds and larger hail. Now, thankfully, even though this storm is still very strong, still could be producing damaging wind, still could be producing a lot of hail, it has looked like this storm has been collapsing over the last, I would say, hour or so. Now, it was, but it looks like it's actually just become more compact in the last about 15 minutes. So in the last 15 minutes, it looks like we have intensified a little bit again, closer on towards eastern Bandera County. And I'm rewinding, it's going to look like it's not as intense, but that's just because it's taking a second for our data to come in. Notice when it was back here, about 8:20. If I put a counter on the lightning strikes, it shows 1,969. We continue through the timeline, watch the number change. The number in the top right corner of your screen tells you what time it was. And then once we got to about now, 1,798. So, you know what? Looking at that, actually, it has been kind of weakening still. Still pretty strong, but it's still compact. Still a lot of lightning. From Kerrville down towards Bandera. I mean, it's just a whole light show right now, including for Bernie. Bernie now seeing a ton of lightning in the sky. Lori says, is there a threat for a tornado? The answer is, it's possible. We have had some tornado warnings further off to the east. We actually have one in place right now for Fayette County, north of the I-10 corridor, near LaGrange. Hidden under all that lightning is a tornado warning. Let me turn off the lightning so you can see it. See that tornado warning until 9 p.m. So that is considered outside the KENS 5 viewing area. We'll continue to watch that. But thankfully, that is moving outside of our region. Still a lot of rain in the New Braunfels area. Still a lot of rain in Seguin. Nothing severe with those storms, though. Again, the lone severe storm that we have right now. I know this polygon covers this giant area, but the lone severe storm we have is actually just this one right here. That is our severe thunderstorm. So anything out ahead of that, between here and here, has the possibility of seeing some strong winds or large hail. Whew, you have to excuse me, guys. I just about sneezed right there. Whew, goodness. I had an allergy attack myself just yesterday. They cut the grass where I live, and the allergens got knocked up into the air. But thankfully, those are going to get knocked down pretty well here thanks to all this rain moving through. If you're wondering where Weather Chief Bill Taylor is right now, he is live on KENS 5 CBS giving an update on this storm that is making its way into portions of Bexar County. Right now, heavy rain associated with this storm, 60-mile-per-hour winds are possible, and then up to quarter-size hail. Let's check that hail again to see if it's grown, and it looks like it has. Maybe now up to golf ball to ping pong ball size hail in Pipe Creek. This is all moving southeast. Marlene says, please show the location of the hail core. She was curious about it. And there it is. Let's look around other areas just to make sure there aren't any other ones that we need to be concerned about. And it looks like, guys, this is going to be possibly the last storm we have to deal with tonight. And this is going to be the one in eastern Bandera County. So Pipe Creek, down towards San Geronimo, and down towards Helotes. This could impact all those areas. This is the main hail core. Now remember, National Weather Service has this severe thunderstorm warning really stretched out all the way to Real County, Uvalde County, into northern Medina County, even down to Hondo and Castroville. But I think that Hondo and Castroville will be fine. I think that the strong and severe portions of this storm are going to stay into very northeastern portions of Medina County and then moving into, Bexar County. So Michael's saying that he's seeing radar thing show a radar product rather show a rotation symbol kind of near Bernie. He says in the middle of the system, north and west of Bernie. I would say in that part of the storm, not as much of an issue of a tornado being possible. There could be rotation in the atmosphere. I do see some very broad rotation through here, but this is nothing to be concerned of. So yeah, it's showing the rotation, but sometimes those indicators will pop up no matter what it sees and what level it sees it at. Doesn't necessarily mean that there's a big issue of a possible tornado. I would say the most concerning part of this storm is the straight line winds moving through 46 right here, heading south and east towards Scenic Oaks and Cross Mountain. Even more concerning than that rotation, much more concerning than that rotation would be that area that you see in bright green and light blue. That lets us know that we have extremely strong winds that could be possibly damaging as it makes its way down the Highway 16 corridor, closer towards I-10, and could be leading to a lot of power outages. We could start to see a lot of power outages in Bexar County here as we head throughout this next hour, possibly throughout the 10 o'clock time frame. By the time we get to 10 o'clock, we still could be seeing strong to severe storms move through Bexar County. Julian says, thank you very much for the info. No problem. Marlene had asked about the hail core earlier, and let's go ahead and bring it up again, because that's important to show. And just as quickly as it intensified rapidly like that, and we saw the pinks pop up, which would be large hail, a very large hail, possibly bigger than golf ball size, it has shrunk again. This is at 8:58. We get our way to 9:03 now. Latest radar scan, this is it, showing that the hail core has shrunk, still quarter-size hail there near Pipe Creek. And I wouldn't want a quarter-size hail hitting my car. I don't know about y'all, but that's considered damaging hail, and especially wind-driven quarter-size hail. Remember, we were looking at winds there. That light blue could be 70-plus mile-per-hour winds. If you've got quarter-size hail going at 70 miles per hour, not only do you not want to be driving in that, you don't want to be out in that, you don't want your car in that, you don't want your property in that, and this is why we are live giving updates now, so that everybody knows about this strong storm that's moving through and can make sure they get themselves and their property to a safe spot. So guys, I'm actually going to zoom out here. Let's take a wide look across South Texas. Let's look at what we're dealing with as far as hail cores. Not a lot of issues. Lavaca County, very northeast portions, under a severe thunderstorm warning, but you see the severe portion of the storm is actually outside of Lavaca County where we see that larger hail. We still have this one hail core in Bandera County, very southeastern portions of Kerr County and very southwestern portions of Kendall County. That may barely brush up against the Bernie area. So if you're in Bernie, make sure that everything is settled and where it needs to be. Right now, it's very noisy in Bernie, I'm sure, with this thunderstorm just kind of right on your doorstep. Very heavy rain with these storms. Definitely could have the issue of some brief flash flooding as they move through. So still that severe thunderstorm warning in place until 9:45, and I'm kind of wondering if they're going to end up trimming this back a little bit to not include areas, again, what I would say west of this line. I wouldn't be surprised if they said, that western tip has really collapsed. Let's go ahead and just trim this back and not include Uvalde County anymore, not include Real County, and not include areas west of Bandera, areas west of Kerrville. I would say you're fine. I would say Hondo's fine. I would say Castroville, this may barely clip where you're at, but I would say Hondo, I'd say this storm's going to miss you just off to the east. Gary says, just got a flood watch warning. I know you may mean a flash flood warning, maybe. We don't have any, there's nothing that would be a flood watch warning, but we do have a flash flood warning in Travis County and stretching down into portions of Bastrop County. And I see no other flash flood warnings. I'll check with the National Weather Service just to make sure nothing's off with our system and maybe it's not showing that information. Nothing coming in. I'll tell you what you did get. Here, Gary, this is actually what you got. You got an aerial flood advisory, which lets us know low-lying areas that typically have a little bit of flooding, like low water crossings in your region, may have water across them. So a lot of rain has fallen over a short period of time. It's covered the ground, and it's all flowing into those tributaries and waterways. And there could be some minor river bank flooding through there. That's why the aerial flood advisory was placed for your region, Gary. Lake Hills is getting hit now. Tracy, thank you for that report. Yeah, you definitely are in the thick of it at this moment. A lot of heavy rain, a lot of lightning, and a lot of possibly strong winds. Bernie off I-10 and Johns Road is lit. A lot of lightning through there, Oscar. Probably one of the stronger parts of the storm through there. We have a light show going on in Kerrville. Yeah, that's going to occur probably for the next hour. You're going to see these storms as they move away from you. Kerrville, now on the backside of things. Quieter conditions about to start to really set up for Kerrville as this storm continues to push out. Comfort area seeing a lot of thunderstorm activity. And guys, I am really happy that they pushed back pushed forward the graduation at Bernie ISD. I'm sure everybody now is at home safe and in the quiet conditions, but if they had it later on, they would have had these messy conditions that we're dealing with right now. So Fayette County emergency managers are reporting trees down in the county, but no locations have been given yet, likely from those tornado warnings that they had moved through. And there was a very strong storm. And if you don't know where Fayette County is, that is located here. That's located outside of the KENS 5 viewing area. But I've been giving updates on that just for our friends and family who could be located in that region. So let me actually bump the radar, give us a different look at the radar. This is actually, whenever you saw that previous look, that's kind of whenever we're looking at a more widespread look, like maybe across the state of Texas. Gives us a lot of radar sites where we can see different things. But now we're kind of honing in. We're targeting areas to see a better look at the radar. This is the cleanest look that we get. That's what we're seeing right now. So sometimes you'll see multiple looks of our radar on KENS 5. That's what we're kind of seeing. Sometimes we change it so we get a more precise look. So the more intense storms still moving down through South Kendall County. You see eastern Bandera County, southeastern portions of Kerr County, seeing the more intense parts of the storm. A lot of lightning. Let's check the current hail situation. Looks like we do still have quarter-size hail in very eastern portions of Bandera County, very northern portions of Medina County, right there around Lake Medina itself, or Medina Lake rather. And northwest portions of Bexar County, it's starting to move into very northwest portions there. Will Helotes get hit hard? Vanessa wants to know. Vanessa, I think the strongest part of the storm is going to be moving through Helotes. Now, with that being said, we've seen a lot of fluctuations in this hail core. I think it is, yes, it has been growing and then shrinking and growing. Well, not necessarily growing and shrinking. We've seen intensification of the hail and then de-intensification or some weakening. Intensification, weakening, intensification, weakening. Right now we're on an intensification period. It's kind of cycling through. And we see quarter-size hail. It could weaken again and not intensify. And let's hope that occurs. So by the time this arrives to your doorstep in Helotes over the next 30 minutes, it could shrink down to nickel-size hail or no hail at all, which is something we would love to see. But still, I think we are going to be dealing with strong winds. Notice the blues that are showing up here and the bright greens in Scenic Oaks and in Cross Mountain, Fair Oaks Ranch, that whole region through there. This is the strongest winds that we're going to get all night for any storms. Right through here. And I think that Helotes is going to be impacted by some of those. Laura wants to know when it will hit Hondo, Texas. I think it's going to miss Hondo, Texas, just off to the north and east. I don't think it's going to impact you. Let's see here. Jason's saying that there's another app stating hail in the San Antonio airport in 10 minutes. I bet big money that it's not hailing at the San Antonio airport in 10 minutes. I can tell you that now. The storm is too far away. It still has a lot of time before it gets there, but it will not be hailing at the San Antonio airport within the next 10 minutes. We saw lightning in Pleasanton and Aaron Place on the south side of San Antonio. Yeah, a lot of lightning way up in the sky for these storms that are off to the north and west. Now, it may not hail at the San Antonio airport in the next 10 minutes, but I will say this too. Later on, possibly in the next 20 minutes to 30 minutes, I'd say 30 minutes actually, we could have a little bit of hail at the San Antonio airport, maybe about pea-size hail. Right now, that hail core located up towards Helotes, northwest of Helotes and in northwest Bexar County, this storm making its way down towards the southeast at about 40 miles per hour. Let's look at the timeline for when the San Antonio airport could actually see a little bit of hail. It's probably going to occur around the same time that we see it occur around the, I would say, past Castle Hills, the Almost Park area. That's kind of close to the airport, so around 9:42. That lets us know about 30 minutes. So about 25 to 30 minutes, we may end up seeing a little bit of hail at the San Antonio airport, maybe about pea-size hail to about nickel-size hail. But right now, that's kind of seems the timeline for this storm. And still, this storm may not hold together that long. It is collapsing a little bit as it heads south and east. Let's hope that we don't get any hail there at all. I see a question. Will it hail in the Helotes area? I think we could at least get pea-size hail there. So we have heavy rain right now in Guadalupe County, Gonzales County, Lavaca County. Nothing severe with that though. A good amount of lightning too. But definitely, you can really see on the map, guys, you can tell which is the most intense storms. All the lightning over towards Columbus, outside the Kents 5 viewing area. Intense thunderstorm there. And then they have now trimmed back that severe thunderstorm warning. Remember how I said anybody west of this line not going to deal with anything severe? Uvalde, no longer under severe thunderstorm warning. Kerr County, I think, has been also taken out of it. Let's see. Let me turn off lightning real quick. I think the southeast portion is still under it. Yeah, it is. Kendall County under a severe thunderstorm warning. Portions of Comal County under it, not including New Braunfels, not including Canyon Lake. Bexar County under this severe thunderstorm warning until 9:45. Medina County under it, and eastern Bandera County also under the severe thunderstorm warning. Edwards, Real, Uvalde County, you're done. It's quiet. You don't have to worry about anything anymore. Looking off to the north and west, nothing severe for you heading your way. It's going to be quiet the rest of tonight. You may get a little bit of rain, don't get me wrong, but as far as the severe risk, things are going to go down for you. Bexar County, things are just getting started. We have this severe thunderstorm that's going to move through. Behind it, quieter conditions though. Lightning and rain in Pipe Creek. Janet, thank you for that report. How about the Lytle area? I think it's going to miss you, maybe just off to the north and east. It's going to be a close call. In Lytle, you may get maybe pea-sized hail at most, but probably just lightning and some heavy rain at times. But definitely the bulk of this storm is going to be going pretty much through the heart of San Antonio, down through Helotes and into downtown San Antonio, and the north side is going to get the most of this. I'm talking about Loop 410, the Medical Center, and then all the way down through the north side, Chavano Park, Leon Valley on the west, further to the west side is going to be dealing with that on the northwest side. And then up through the northeast side, let's talk about some of those locations. Schertz. Let's talk about Universal City. Let's talk about closer on toward just that whole region, Hollywood Park. Strong to severe storm moving through there, I'm willing to bet, as we head throughout the next 30 minutes. Jerry wanting to know, is there going to be hail downtown? Jerry, I think we are going to have the possibility of maybe even up to nickel-sized hail downtown. We do have a hail core associated with this one storm. Right now, looks like just nickel-sized hail associated with it. Maybe a very tiny pocket of quarter-sized hail right here, this dark blue. But, I mean, let you know how wide that area is. That's 1 mile. Maybe about a mile-long stretch of quarter-sized hail within that, very small. But mainly just nickel-sized hail within the storm right now. Now, I wanted to check this earlier. I'm going to run it back and check it real quick. Let's look at the amount of lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. That can give us an idea on how healthy the storm is, if it's weakening, and man, it's weakened a lot. Now down to 1,116 lightning strikes in the last 15 minutes. The storm is not doing too well right now, which is good for us. You want me to say that. For the storm not to be doing well means it's good for us. It means that the storm is weakening and we could end up seeing smaller hail, and hopefully the winds will calm down too. But still very strong winds, I'm willing to bet, associated with the storm. Check out some of this. I'm actually going to leave it on this for a while. Helotes, the winds are about to pick up. If they haven't picked up for you just yet, Scenic Oaks down towards Helotes, we're going to get some very strong winds through there. I see some people are already dealing with power outages. Power outages could be a little bit of an issue with winds this strong as they continue to move through parts of the city. So again, guys, I think that we could, I was just talking to our newsroom about a few things real quick. So if you were like, what, I just lost audio. That's why. I turned on the audio real quick just to talk to our newsroom about how we could have a little bit of power outages associated with this strong wind that's going to move through northeastern portions of Bexar County. Right through here, Timberwood Park, Castle Hills, Hollywood Park, all could get a little bit of power outages from this part of the storm. Now, thankfully, the hail core, again, has shrunk, but it could re-intensify. Still pea-sized hail, though. That's approaching Helotes and Cross Mountain. Jerry was saying not worried about dents, but will nickel-sized hail break car windows? The answer, Jerry, is that if it is wind-driven and if we have very strong winds blowing the nickel-sized hail, it could break car windows. It would have to be very strong winds, though, maybe like 70 miles per hour. But honestly, now we're down to pea-sized hail. Let's hope the hail core continues to shrink. I think that is going to occur since we do see less lightning within the storm. It lets me know the updraft is not as strong. The updraft is what helps those charges within a storm separate. And remember, when you separate those charges, that's when we start to have more lightning occur, when there's more separation. So right now, we have still a good amount of lightning, but with less lightning occurring, it lets us know the updraft has weakened a lot, and maybe we're going to continue to see the storm weaken as it moves through Bexar County. Let's hope that continues. So I see Johnny saying, I don't think so. You should be good. Johnny, yeah, that's a good answer there for our friend Jerry. In other words, yeah, I think you should be fine. I don't think you're going to have any issues with your car windows breaking from the hail that's moving through San Antonio right now. I would be more concerned with the strong winds. That seems to be the main concern at this moment. So we're seeing a little bit of an issue from the radar. Notice this bright pink. The radar, whenever the radar does something messy like that, that lets us know, okay, these are very strong winds. And sometimes the radar can have a little bit of an issue whenever you have those really strong winds moving through. So those blues that we see from Helotes to Scenic Oaks, I believe we're going to have some 70-plus mile-per-hour winds through there. That's enough to bring down large tree limbs. That's enough to really blow your furniture around. That's enough to carry the trampoline away if you have a trampoline outside. That's enough to cause some issues. Maybe a tree that could be in some soft soil could bring it down. Especially if we have a stronger gust, maybe that could go up to around 80. That is definitely some strong wind. So make sure that you're where you need to be, in other words, if you're in Bexar County. Don't be out driving in this. Put yourself in a safe spot and make sure you just stay safe as these strong storms move through. And also, make sure you don't go outside in this. Make sure you have your phone charged. If your phone's not charged right now, go ahead and charge it. And guys, actually with that being said, I've been live for a while and I've been giving this update. I'm going to plug my phone in case we lose power here at the station because I want to be able to keep answering your questions. And we're not going to lose power completely. Thankfully, we have a generator here, so I can continue to be here giving you updates. But I need to make sure I have my phone plugged in too. That way I can continue to have charge here. Let's see here. So I see the question from Daniel, are you hearing a warning about a siren being sounded? It may be for the severe thunderstorm warning that's moving through. Guys, there is no tornado warning out there at this moment. But we do have this severe thunderstorm that is moving through parts of Bandera, Bexar County, and we'll be clipping parts of Kendall County as well. But there is no tornado warning right now. So right now there is a thunderstorm wind damage that's been reported in Scenic Oaks. We do have large tree limbs down and power poles broken in the Scenic Oaks area. That is going to be far northwestern Bexar County. That's coming in from the National Weather Service, and that's what I expected. Again, guys, the reason why we're not showing hail as much is because I knew that these winds were going to be strong. So in Scenic Oaks, along I-10, power poles broken, large tree limbs down from this strong wind event that we have occurring. The main strong winds are now approaching Chavano Park and moving into Hollywood Park. So it looks like Helotes just missed out on the strongest winds. Hollywood Park, 1604, Chavano Park, that's where we have the strongest winds moving in now, and I think that's where we're going to have a lot of power outages occur. Alan wants to know, is Divine going to get hit? And I say no. I think you're going to be fine. So a wider look at things, guys. I'm zooming out again because I want to see areas to the east too. I want to make sure we're not missing anything in Gonzales. I don't think we are. I think we're fine over there. Kerr County no longer included in a severe thunderstorm warning, by the way. Kendall County, it continues for you. Bernie right now covered up in lightning and heavy rain. Bandera County, the worst of the storm, is starting to move out. Let me check hail again. And it still looks like hail is only about a pea size to nickel size. Now, guys, I'm going to relay some stuff to the newsroom real quick. just so that they make sure they have everything saved, just in case we have a power outage briefly here. I want to make sure everybody doesn't lose their information or lose their work that they're working on right now. Just like y'all are at home, we're trying to make sure we don't lose anything either. I just saw us have a little bit of a power hit here, and we're going to have more in a second. Guys, like I said, our main issue now is the strong winds making their way through the northern part of San Antonio along 1604 on the northwest side, Chavano Park, Castle Hills, Hollywood Park. That's going to be the main issue. Let me relay some stuff to the newsroom real quick. I'm turning down the volume just here for about 15 seconds, and it'll go right back up. All right, guys, I'm back up here. Just wanted to relay some information to the newsroom real quick. So 1604 appears to be where the strongest wind is at this moment. 1604 and I-10 especially. Chavano Park, I hear a lot of lightning outside the station at this moment. And guys, this is important to know. We may end up having a power outage here at the station. If that happens, sometimes my audio messes up here on our live updates. If it messes up, let me know. I know how to fix it quickly within my system, but because I don't want an echo from my phone being on here and answering your questions, I won't necessarily hear that the audio messes up. So the second y'all hear it messed up, say the audio's messed up, and I can fix that in my system real quick. So the strongest winds right now impacting, I'm going to name off a few roads here. That way everybody's aware. Looks like De Zavala. So right along De Zavala Road and I-10, very strong winds moving through. The Chavano Park area. Loop 1604, stretching down towards Blanco Road where it meets, excuse me, I almost said reaches and meets at the same time. The 1604 corridor there on the north side. This is going to go through Hollywood Park. Down towards the quarry area. We're already having electricity flicker here just a little bit. And the rain is coming down outside. Wind is picking up at the San Antonio airport, Jason says. Yeah, definitely. Definitely an intense storm now moving through San Antonio. It looks like we do have nickel-sized hail occurring at 1604 and I-10. So right over the quarry and right over La Cantera. We have nickel-sized hail at La Cantera and pea-sized hail. We also have that approaching the Chavano Park area. Hearing a lot of strong winds outside here, outside the station. Guys, I'm actually going to peek outside the station real quick. Not reach my head outside or anything because we got a lot of lightning, but I'm going to look out our window here real quick because I can tell that wind is picking up a lot for us, and I'm curious just to get a quick gauge of it by looking out the window here, what I'm seeing. Yeah, now I would definitely say we probably have about 40 mile per hour winds. Oh yeah. I'm actually going to get away from this window. Guys, we may have just had a 60 mile plus mile per hour gust move through. So really intense winds outside, guys. Josie says, yeah, I know it is really windy out there. Let's see here. Hailing in New Braunfels. Let's take a look at that real quick. Let's take a look back at hail again. Maybe some pea-sized hail, but not really being picked up much by the radar, it's looking like. But guys, wind actually appears to be the main issue now. I'm going to go ahead and keep it on wind. Hollywood Park, honestly, where we're at in the medical center isn't even as bad as what they're dealing with in Hollywood Park. If you're along 1604 on the north side, you are getting the strongest winds. If you are east of Hollywood Park, I want you to go ahead and make sure that you are in a safe place in your home. Do not get near any windows or anything like that because these winds are very strong. Could cause things to fly through the air. Maybe like trash cans or anything that's left outside. Anything that's loose outside of your own home needs to be inside or tied down outside. Judson Road. Anywhere over towards, let's see here, Bulverde Road, getting closer on towards the I-35 corridor in Live Oak. We're going to have very strong winds move through. And basically, guys, anywhere on the northeast side, McLean Park. That's a popular spot there in the northeast side, not far from Live Oak, northwest of Live Oak there. We're going to have some very intense winds push through. Guys, Hollywood Park, I mean, these winds right here, that's 70-plus mile-per-hour winds. Now, sometimes the radar is looking high up into the sky, and we'll see these winds on radar, and it's like, it's probably not making it down to the surface. This is close enough to the radar site to where I can tell you this wind is actually happening. Let's see here. Our wind was loud and rowdy, and it destroyed my yard. Rain, hail wasn't nearly as bad. Yeah, exactly. Wind has been, I think wind is the main issue with this storm. Again, I don't think that the rain and hail is as much of a problem, but wind is an issue. Jasmine saying power out in Castle Hills. That's where we had some of the stronger, not sure if we're still up, guys. I'm going to check the audio. We just took a power hit. Not sure if the stronger winds excuse me, I'm trying to regain my thought after we took that power hit. I'm not sure if the stronger winds made their way down to Leon Valley. I know that they did have strong winds, but I'm not sure if they had power outages from that. But I do know, all right, good, the audio is still good. But I do know the strong winds did make it into Castle Hills, so power outages there now being reported. Power just went out in Bernie. How bad is it going to get in Von Army? Felicia, I honestly think that it's not going to be that bad for you. I think that the worst part of the storm is going to stay to your north and west. We've been zoomed in on this one spot for a while, so let me zoom out to make sure everybody can see where they're at. And you see that the areas northeast of Von Army, I think, are going to be impacted by this, but not for you. How about Blanco and West Avenue? James, yeah, pretty strong storm moving through there. And we're going to have to keep an eye on there, but I think that Blanco Road up by 1604 is the bigger issue. Let's see here. Very heavy thunder and lightning in Babcock North. It sounds like a heavy artillery fire in the distance, Yvonne says. Let's see here. A lot of people staying still on. I've got really behind in my comments here, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Jenny says, in Leon Valley, her lights are on. Good news. What about Converse? Yeah, Converse is going to get impacted by these storms. Let's take a look at Converse. Notice you're just on the front end of this. Now, thankfully, we're not seeing as much of a hail threat for you as what you had a few weeks ago when we had the large hail move through. But these strong winds are just now pushing across 281, and it looks like we're going to have the strong winds move across I-35 here very soon. By the way, it looks like pea-sized hail is going to be approaching very soon to the airport. So possibly over the next 3 minutes, we're going to see pea-sized hail at the airport. Sarah wants to know, is there any tornado warning? The answer is no. This is straight line wind. We're not seeing any rotation with this. This is all straight line winds. Lights flickering in Alamo Ranch. What about wind crests? Let's talk about wind crest and Converse. And actually, guys, let's go ahead and put a timer out on this wind. It's moving at about 40 miles per hour. I'm going to go ahead and draw this out right through here. So, Live Oak by about 9:39. Universal City, 9:44. These stronger winds arrive where you are. Schertz by 9:45. Cibolo by 9:49. Marion by 9:57. And St. Hedwig by about 10 o'clock. And I'm going to let you know right now, I said Schertz at 9:45. I think that's going to be the same time where it impacts Windcrest. And also Converse, I'd say about 9:50 this wind impacts you. So I'm going to zoom things all the way back out, guys. They've issued a new severe thunderstorm warning. compared to the original one. And it looks like these storms that are off to our east are still headed off to the east. By the way, Cuero, everybody down towards the coastal plains, you're going to get rain, you're going to get lightning. Not seeing anything severe from those, though. The main severe storm continues to be this one moving through Bexar County and moving off to the east. Rebecca wants to know about the De Zavala area. You're getting a pretty good part of the storm at the moment, like a lot of lightning associated with it and a lot of strong winds, but the worst part of the storm has already moved through the De Zavala area. Just tuned in. What's hitting Windcrest? Darla, you're about to be hit by the worst part of the storm. We could be talking about 70-plus mile-per-hour winds that just swept through the northern part of the 1604 area, the northern part of San Antonio, has caused a lot of power outages. If your phone is not charged, please start charging your phone now. We are going to see more power outages that have not occurred yet for the northeast side, but are going to occur from these strong winds. Right now, we're keeping things on velocity, or our wind speeds, in other words, because that's approaching right now the Live Oak area, Schertz area. There is no tornado warning. We've had a lot of questions about that. But right now, winds seem to be the main issue. And guys, I'm actually going to pop something up. Weather Chief Bill Taylor's on KENS 5 CBS right now giving updates. I actually want to pop up something else. I'm going to use a 3-box here to make sure you can all see what else is going on. Right now, we do have a the looping traffic cameras that is showing a lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, and you see that we're also dealing with the strong winds out there on some of those roadways. So I'm working on plugging a few things in real quick, guys. Just give me 1 second. So again, if you're just now joining us, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning in place for Bexar County until 10:30. The stronger part of the storm is staying north of downtown San Antonio. For those who may be living on the south side wondering, hey, wait, are you going to talk about us too? The only reason why I have not been talking much about the south side is because I think the strong storm is going to miss you to the north. Yes, the severe thunderstorm warning does stretch down towards southern portions of San Antonio, but the winds are much weaker there. That's what I'm seeing right now, and it does not appear to be as much of an issue. See a lot of people on the roads. Guys, not a good time to be on the roads right now. If you can push it off and wait to head out on the road, please do that. So, also looking at hail, you'll notice that's not occurring. You notice everything that's pretty much south of this line is going to be plain old thunderstorm activity. Not seeing anything severe really below that line. Really kind of going to be right through here. Anything south of that. So we're going to continue to keep you updated, don't worry. But downtown actually looks like it's dodging a bullet with the worst part of the storm. So Sarah's wondering what the lightning strikes are at. In other words, she's wanting to know, I've talked a lot about this. If we have less lightning, we have a weakening storm if the lightning strikes continue to go down. So let's see if this storm is weakening. The lightning counter coming out right now. I'm just going to focus on that area. Now less than 1,000. Guys, earlier on, this storm was putting down 2,800 plus lightning strikes in 15 minutes. We're now below 1,000 lightning strikes within a 15-minute period, so the storm is weakening. And when a storm weakens and collapses, it can also cause for a lot of straight-line winds. Look at 281 at Hildebrand. Wow. That was a very messy situation. You saw cars were stopped in the middle of US 281 at Hildebrand. And it wasn't even back-to-back traffic. It's just cars were stopped because of blinding rain, strong winds, and you see all that lightning. Very messy situations out on the road. That's why I said don't be out driving if you don't have to. You see how messy it is out there. Guys, if you can put off driving, please put it off. I don't want anyone to put themselves into a dangerous situation. Literally, give it 30 minutes. Just wait 30 minutes to head out on the road. And then once it's gone here in San Antonio, 30 minutes to 45 minutes, head out, do what you got to do tonight. But just hold off if you can. Tons of lightning in Castle Hills. Yeah, Jasmine, we've had a lot of that. Kathy's wanting to know about Divine. This is all missing Divine to the north and east. No issues for you. Starting to calm in Leon Valley. I think you're still going to get some lightning, still some rain, but definitely you're done with the most intense part of the storm in Leon Valley. Shirts, it's on your doorstep. I've seen a few questions about shirts. The worst part of the storm is now approaching you. Let's take a look at those wind speeds again. And they don't appear to be as strong, which is good. The winds have weakened, but still 60 plus mile per hour winds about to move through shirts. That is enough to cause power outages. And we just took a power hit here at the station again. I'm making sure nothing gives up on me here on the stream. Looks like everything's still good. And again, if my audio messes up, guys, let me know. Joe says, whether somebody is covering the storm and we have our regular programming. Guys, I'm here. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. I'm here covering the storm. Joe, we're covering the storm right here. And we're also cutting into programming occasionally. We're on top of it. Joe, I've been live for hours. Trust me. We're your first source for weather information. If you check the Facebook Live right now or where you're watching it from, you'll see that I've been on for hours. And we've been keeping people updated long before that other platform that you named. We're keeping people updated on this storm. I've been live for hours on this, and I'm going to stay live until the severe thunderstorm risk is over. So, until 10:30 p.m. is what we have for Bexar County, stretching further off to the east into parts of Guadalupe County, Comal County, and into even parts of Wilson County and Gonzales County. That does include Nixon. So, hey, out towards Nixon, you could have some strong storms. What you have going through Nixon right now is not considered severe. That is a sub-severe, but definitely some strong winds. Let's see here. Joe says, you always are my first source. You know, Joe, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I very much appreciate you, Joe. So thank you. So let's look at the thunderstorm activity again. Let's see the amount of lightning that we have right now. Philippe says, wind is blowing hard in shirts. Yeah, definitely. The strongest part of the storm is likely moving through shirts right now, and then it's going to continue southeast into New Braunfels. And guys, I just heard an alert go off in the newsroom. A flash flood warning has now been issued. So let me go ahead and bring that up on our system too. That's going to be for heavy rain that is moving through San Antonio right now. Now this flash flood includes parts of Comal County and into Guadalupe County. This does include Seguin. This does include New Braunfels. And this does include Shirts. Universal City just got hit there. Thank you, Andrew. You gave me enough warning to make things safe here. Valerie, no problem. Y'all, don't give Joe much of a hard time. He's okay. We like Joe. We like Joe, guys. That thunder and lightning is a bid in SeaWorld area. Joe's keeping us accountable. He's making sure that we're doing the right thing, and I like that. And nothing but an answer for him from what he had commented earlier. But we like Joe, guys. Lightning is crazy in Universal City. Yeah, a lot of thunderstorm activity there. Joe says just got that warning on his phone. Yeah, we all probably just had our phones go off, giving the update on that warning. Again, flooding. This is Flash Flood Alley. So whenever we have flooding occur, it's a big deal. Flooding. This is where some of the worst flooding in the country occurs. Is right here in South Texas. We've had a lot of historic floods happen on Memorial Day weekend. I'm talking about back towards the Wimberley flood and the Blanco River back in 2015. We want to make sure that everybody takes flooding seriously. Remember, do not try to drive through flooded areas. There have already been water rescues from flooding in Austin earlier on tonight. They had to rescue somebody from the Bull Creek area. I was talking about the flooding earlier on. And that was one spot where they already had flooding concerns. Stay away from flooded areas. Stay away from low-lying areas. Find the high ground. Don't drive through flooded spots. Turn around. Don't drown. Please remember that. Tons of lightning by your tower. I can see it, Sarah says. How fast were wind gusts? Ryan, it's hard to confirm that right now, but I'm willing to bet we had 70-plus mile-per-hour winds occur in parts of San Antonio tonight. Let me go ahead and see what the National Weather Service is having to say actually by about some wind reports. They had 67-knot winds at the airport, and that's not where the strongest winds were. The strongest winds were to the north. That lets me know we had 70-plus mile-per-hour winds, likely there along 1604 at Hollywood Park. So here's a report. Castle Hills, where we had power outages. Thunderstorm wind gust of 77 miles per hour was reported. And I'm willing to bet if we had 77 in Castle Hills, we may have had 80 plus somewhere in San Antonio. So let's see here. The flash flood warning, of course, still in place. The National Weather Service also identifying that the winds may not be as strong, still about 30 to 50 mile per hour winds though, still moving through. But I think that the winds may have peaked there as they were moving across the northern side of San Antonio, closer on towards Hollywood Park. So let's see. Evan says, I just got out of my graduation. I'm soaking wet. Evan, I'm sorry to hear about that, but congratulations on graduating. I hope you have a special night here, and big shout out to you. Congrats to all of our grads out there. Satellite is out. Crazy at Bulverde and Evans. Lights flickering in shirts. Let's see here. Lights keep going off and on by Castle Hills. Penny-sized hail and strong wind in Universal City. What about Devine, Texas? Devine is fine, Richard. We've had a lot of questions about Devine tonight. Guys, these storms are staying north of you. And I know why we have a lot of questions about Devine. Because we have had some big hail events here these last few weeks. And Devine has been hit a few times. But Devine is fine tonight, I think. Let's see here. Daniel says, any tornadoes? No, no tornadoes. Carmen says, storm bad on Evers and Bandera. Coming down in Cibolo right now. Finally settled down at Churchill Estates. I think, hope we're past the worst of it. Wind was horrible, and hail and rain was really nuts. Heavy rain and thunder in Bulverde. And guys, we like Joe. Give him a break, guys. Lightning show is reminiscent of what when I lived in Florida. Lightning capital. Yeah, a lot of lightning across Florida, of course. Yeah, this is a big light show for sure. Emily says, are there more storms coming? The answer is we may have more showers and storms later on tonight, but I think that this is going to be our severe risk overall. Once this cell leaves bare, how does the rest of the night look? Again, a little bit quieter. So, still a lot of lightning out there. Let me go ahead and put everything into pause. Let me go ahead and show the lightning counter, because that can give us an idea on if the storm is intensifying or not. We've seen the number just continue to go down. Now down to 768 in 15 minutes. That is still a ton of lightning though, but I do think this storm is still weakening as it moves through. Still flash flooding though. Flash flood warning in place. That's going to continue, I believe, until, let me get an exact time on that. Give me 1 second, guys. That is until 12:30 a.m. Leon Valley was running tornado sirens. What's up on Leon Valley? Nothing, no tornadoes in Leon Valley. They may have been running that for flash flooding that may have been occurring on some roadways. Actually, sometimes cities will run sirens for flood events. So they may have been doing that for the possibility of flooding, maybe along the Leon Creek Greenway. Not necessarily going out of its banks, but covering up the greenway itself for anybody who could have been out on it. Let's see here. Got slight hail in Converse. Hernandez, if you don't mind telling me how large it was, if it was pea size or if it was larger. Tree came down over here on Starcrest in 410. I hope it did not hit any houses or do any damage. I'm sorry to hear that we lost one though. Huge lightning and thunder show in Hollywood Park. Yeah, just had a very strong storm go through there. Waffle House in San Antonio says, put a Waffle House in San Antonio, they would know how to handle this. Liz says, Leon Valley floods are bad. Yeah, that's right. Whenever we have a flood in Leon Valley, it typically is pretty bad. That's why it's important not to go across those low water crossings. From Leon Valley, and I'm talking all the way up towards the Oakland Estates neighborhood. I've seen people drive through floodwaters in that area, and it's made me nervous. Yeah, guys, do not try to cross those low water crossings through there. Jacob says, what about New Braunfels? You are included in this severe thunderstorm warning, but let me take a look at the winds one more time. I think you're going to get some strong winds through there, but I don't think it's going to be anything too concerning. Maybe about 30 to 40 mile per hour winds through New Braunfels here over the next 10 minutes. Satellite is back on. That's a good sign, Kelly says. Good to hear. Still some pea-sized hail. But guys, this storm is really collapsing, and the National Weather Service may consider dropping this severe thunderstorm warning here pretty soon. And if that happens, I'll likely hop off here. And if we do get more stuff severe in later on tonight, you'll see me live here again. So if we do end the live stream, don't forget, if anything severe impacts us or threatens us the rest of the evening, I will hop back on here and give updates. Power is out in northeast Crownwood. Kristen says, what about Seguin? Seguin right now seeing a lot of lightning, probably having a lot of heavy rain, some strong wind, but nothing severe in Seguin right now. You are under severe thunderstorm warning, but I do think that the storm has weakened enough to where it won't be as concerning for you there in Seguin. You are also under a flash flood warning. You've had a lot of rain already, more rain's coming through. Do not go out on the roadways tonight. It's just going to be messy situations. Don't put yourself in a bad situation. We appreciate you. How is Pipe Creek Bandera looking? The thunder was pretty crazy a bit ago. Nikki, you had one of the strongest parts of the storm, I'd say, move through your area, and you are going to have quieter conditions the rest of tonight. Still going to have a bit of a light show over the next few hours, but nothing too serious there. Kelly says our house in Shirts is flickering on and off. Yeah, very intense part of the storm through there at this moment. Probably already had the most intense part of the storm move through your area, though. Allison says, what about Universal City? Probably the most intense part of the storm just went through there. Still a lot of lightning, but things should quiet down in the next 30 minutes. No power in Converse. Stacy, I'm not surprised by that. Yeah, a lot of lightning there. They just had a lot of strong wind. And hopefully things will quiet down there. I'm willing to bet in the next 30 minutes things will be quieter in Converse. What about US 281 and 1604? Yeah, I mean, you still have a lot of rain and a lot of lightning, and it got pretty serious there around Hollywood Park just about 30 minutes ago, maybe even less. But things should start to quiet down soon. Now, guys, something really important for everyone to know, in case you want a weather update from Weather Chief Bill Taylor, and the latest on what's going on across San Antonio with and South Texas as a whole, with any damage that we may have had and what's happened with these storms. We have the newscast happening in 7 minutes. Ken's 5 News at 10 starts in 7 minutes, so be sure to turn on your TVs to CBS if you do still have power. If you don't have power, I'm not going anywhere. So I'm going to still be live right here. But of course, you can watch us both. You can watch Bill give updates on TV, and then of course I'll be right here giving updates as long as we have this severe warning in place. Power on and off in New Braunfels. Yeah, Judy, that's likely going to continue to occur. We'll probably have brief periods of power outages there in New Braunfels as some of these strong winds move through. Thankfully, though, not as strong as what they were earlier when they went through Hollywood Park. Suita says, you're awesome for keeping us updated. Thank you. No problem. I'm happy to do it. Blanca also says, thank you for the updates. No problem. Vanessa says, the neighbor's fence just blew down in Converse. I'm sorry to hear that, Vanessa. I hope that they can get their fence fixed fairly easily. Hopefully the piece that came down together, and it's one of those situations where it's easy to kind of put everything back into place all at once. But I'm sorry to hear that there's been a bit of damage out there in Converse. Lawrence says, how's the Zoo Botanical Gardens area looking? Still a lot of heavy rain right there, a lot of lightning, but the most intense part of the storm has already moved through there around the Alamo Heights region. Is there more coming? Hernandez, the answer is maybe another brief period of showers tonight, but as far as the severe stuff, I think we're good. Gary says power was down but just came back. A lot of people saying thank you for the updates, no problem. Again, Weather Chief Bill Taylor is going to be on air in 5 minutes. Ken's 5 News at 10 starts in 5 minutes. So be sure to tune to Ken's 5 CBS for the latest updates from him and the latest update on news from all these storms that have moved through and caused a little bit of an issue across the city. We have the flash flood warning in place too. Don't forget that. Flash flood warning in place. I don't have that turned on right now with our system, just so it doesn't get too much stuff on the screen at once. But the flash flood warning, that's in place until 12:30 a.m. for the possibility of an inch or more of rain still falling. An inch to 2 inches on top of areas that have already seen heavy rain. Let's see here. Did Universal City get the strongest part of the storm, or did that go through elsewhere? You know, they got a really strong part of the storm. They did get the strongest part, but not when it was at its strongest. I would say the storm was at its strongest as it made its way from about, let me draw this on a map, from about the Fair Oaks ranch area. Oh, I've got the wrong tool selected. Give me 1 second, guys. Thought I had selected the right tool. From about here through here. I would say that was the strongest part of the storm, and we also had strong winds through here. But things really started to weaken as it got closer on towards the McLean Park area there on the northeast side, and closer on towards Schertz. Still very strong. I do not want to say that the storm wasn't still strong and still not severe. It was definitely still severe as it went through Schertz, and it still is a severe thunderstorm warning. We still may have gusts of 60 miles per hour. But I can safely say this storm has weakened a lot. And I'm looking at winds again. Let me go ahead and run this through. You see those blues from Pipe Creek through just north of Helotes, down towards Hollywood Park and Timberwood Park. You may have noticed the intensity in my voice whenever I was talking about that, because I wanted to make sure everybody knew that was some serious wind moving through. I didn't want anybody in a serious situation. My first market, when I was fresh out of college as a meteorologist, was Jonesboro, Arkansas. And the former fire chief for the city was sitting on his couch on an exterior wall, and it was a severe thunderstorm that had straight line winds, like what we have tonight. Pushed down a tree, and unfortunately he lost his life because it landed on his house. That's why we take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously, because when strong winds move through, it can be just as dangerous as a tornado. Strong winds can push a tree down onto a house, and it can cause a lot of damage and loss of life. So that's why we take these straight line wind events with severe thunderstorms that seriously. And when I saw those strong winds move through Hollywood Park, I knew that we had one of those really dangerous possibilities of damaging winds moving through the 1604 and 281 area. But now that it's gone through Schertz and moved further off to the east, I see a lot of weakening in the system. Now, sometimes on the southern tiers, we can get some rotation, and I'm checking that down towards St. Hedwig, China Grove, Lavernia. I don't see that. I'm not seeing any issues with rotation, but I'll continue to watch that just in case it does happen. Elmendorf is getting pounded right now. Yeah, a lot of thunderstorm activity there. Let's see here. When do you think San Antonio will be done? Let's see here. San Antonio will be done kind of closer on toward, I'd say over the next 45 minutes. So we're still going to get lightning and some rain. As far as the really severe stuff, Bexar County as a whole will be done with the severe stuff in 15 minutes. but we're going to get lightning and off and on rain probably for the next 45 minutes throughout parts of the county. Are the freeways flooded? Tiffany, I've been watching that on the screen just below me right here, and I do see some flooding in spots. I would not head out on the roadways if I were you. Flash flooding can lead to all that heavy rainfall so quick, could have led to flooding real fast. And let me actually see how much rain we picked up. I got to look this up real quick. At the airport over the last hour. Is Bernie almost done? I see that question. The answer is yes. We got more than an inch. We got it looks like maybe 1.1, 1.15 inches at the airport just over the last hour. So that's a lot of rain in 1 hour, especially for us here in South Texas. That's that much rain that quick can definitely lead to some flooding on some of the freeways. Jenny wants to know, what's the predictions for Atascosa County? Jenny, the northern portion of Atascosa County could get some thunderstorm activity here. But honestly, down where you're at, you may miss out on the rain completely. It's very possible. So it looks like this storm that we have right through Hondo, and nothing severe. If you're in Hondo, you're saying, oh, it's raining and thundering. I'm nervous. Nothing severe with that. But this storm here in Hondo may continue its way down to the south and east and may miss where you're at, Jenny. The severe stuff is going to miss you to the north. So, Jenny, I think you're going to be fine tonight. So, Tiffany says, I have to pick up my husband from work at 11. I hate driving in the rain. Tiffany, the good news is I think the rain's out of here at 11. Just use extra caution on the roadways because it is going to be damp on the roads and possibly some ponding on the roadways. But by 11 o'clock, I think the rain's out of here and it's going to be okay for you to be out there driving. But, just make sure you don't drive through any flooded areas. Anita says, what can you say about 37 South and 1604 going towards Corpus Christi? Let's take a look at that. Let me erase everything on the map real quick. 37 south at 1604. Doesn't look like you're going to deal with anything severe there. The severe part of the storm is actually well off to your north and east. By the way, Elmendorf, you're in the severe thunderstorm warning, but the severe part of the storm is still off to your north and east. I think it's really going to be impacting more of St. Hedwig area. By the way, it's been a long time since we looked at hail. Let's look at it. And there's really nothing. Little blip of pea-sized hail there west of Seguin. But nothing to be concerned about with that. Let's take a look at winds. That's been the main risk with this storm. The main issue has been the damaging winds. And maybe some strong winds there south of St. Hedwig, southeast of there. But I don't really see anything severe with these winds. Let me see what the National Weather Service is having to say about it. We had 44-knot winds at JBSA Randolph. So that lets us know they definitely had some of the stronger winds move through. Looks like Stinson had 49-mile-per-hour winds. So that's sub-severe. I'm reading a few things from them, and I'll let y'all know if it's anything serious that y'all need to know. Don't worry. So from the Sheriff's Office in Fayette County, they're saying that two 18-wheelers flipped on I-10 in Schulenburg. Just in case our digital team is listening in, it's a social media report from Fayette County Sheriff's Office. That may be something we want to share on our social media page. Two 18-wheelers flipped on I-10 in Schulenburg, right there in Fayette County. That is, if you're wondering where that is, if you're listening to us here on our live update, that is located right here. That's Schulenburg. So Flatonia is here. Schulenburg further off to the east. So anyone heading towards Houston may encounter some issues there from a strong storm that moved through there earlier on tonight. Hopefully those drivers of those 18-wheelers are okay. Aiden wants to know if his Boy Scout cookout is going to be canceled again tomorrow at 1604 in Bandera. Aiden, it's not going to be canceled. It's going to be fine. It's going to be a lot of fun. But use a lot of bug spray because all this rain may lead to a lot of mosquitoes being out tomorrow. Windcrest got hit hard, pounding rain and hail. Hey, Adriana, would you mind telling me how large the hail was there in Windcrest? I'm willing to bet it was about pea size, but if it was larger, let me know. I'd love to be able to report that to everybody. Let's see here. Had some hail in the Converse area and power cut out. Pamela, again, if you wouldn't mind telling me how large the hail may have been. I would love to be able to report that to everybody, and thank you for your report about hail and the brief period of power cutting out, but I'm glad you have power back again. Or I'm not sure if you have power back. You didn't necessarily say that. I hope you have power back again, rather. Had pea-sized hail at Wurzbach and Vance Jackson, but it's passed already. Julie, thank you for your report. Shirts has a lot of lightning, wind, and rain. Yeah, thankfully the stronger part of the storm has already passed through there, though. So, guys, I'm going to shift things back to this storm. This severe thunderstorm warning is until 10:30. So I will be live here giving you updates at least until 10:30, even though I think that this storm has now passed the threshold of being sub-severe. In other words, I don't think it's necessarily as much of a risk anymore. I don't think it's as strong. But as long as the severe thunderstorm warning is there, and since we have the flash flood warning in place too, I'm going to stay on here and continue to give you all updates on this. Let's look at the amount of lightning we've had here in the last 15 minutes. I continue to look at that to get an idea on if the updraft is still strong. And man, this storm is really having a tough time. It's collapsing. So that's good to see. The downdraft is taking control. With the updraft being weaker, we don't have as much intensity, and we should continue to see this storm weaken. If I run this back, watch the timeline in the top right corner of your screen. Here we are at, we'll stop it there, 9:25, 9:30. 961 lightning strikes in 15 minutes, 987 really. But we look at what we have now, 272. So that lets us know intensity has really shrunk down with the storm. Still heavy rain, still flooding threat. But as far as the wind, the damaging hail, damaging wind, not as much of a threat. We've seen that with the pea-sized hail, the hail core shrinking completely, pretty much collapsing, no longer really being an issue. And then also we've seen the winds calm down a lot as we look at velocity. How much longer for between New Braunfels and Seguin? It's loud, bright, and windy right now. Yeah, you are actually in the thick of it. So you actually have about the worst part of this storm you're going to get. Probably have about 30 more minutes. So you may have a power outage too. I would not be surprised with all that lightning that you still end up having a little bit of a power hit there, Nicole. Just be don't be surprised if that happens. Our electricity is out at 1604 between Bulverde Road and Redland. Oh yeah, Gina, that was where some of the strongest part of the storm passed through, was right there. So I'm not surprised by that. I hope you can get your power back on soon though. Capcan says our lights are flickering. We live in Windcrest. Yeah, still a lot of lightning there, still a little breezy. May still have a few brief periods of power outages there in Windcrest. We took a few power hits here at the station as the storm went through. How much longer through Live Oak? 15 minutes. Jason says the airport apocalypse is finally over. Jason, I am happy to hear that. I hope things continue to calm down for you. Looks like the airport is pretty much done. Still some lightning, still some rain. But looking out to the airport there on our radar, looks like things have really calmed down, and I'm glad to hear things are calmer. A tree was struck down by lightning on Vance Jackson. The tree is blocking the road on Vance Jackson. Elizabeth, thank you for that report. So, guys, you may want to avoid the Vance Jackson area due to that tree being down. How does it look this weekend, Mark? We got 20% chances for rain in for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Weather Chief Bill Taylor will probably be on any moment now on KENS 5 CBS. We actually have the 10 o'clock show going on at this moment. He actually should be on, checking the time, he should be on within the next 5 minutes. So if you wanted a full update on the 7-day forecast, turn on KENS 5 CBS. Weather Chief Bill Taylor's about to be on talking about that. But for this update, this live update, I'm just going to talk about the storms that we're dealing with right now. I will mention briefly, lower chances for rain Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but still some rain chance in there. If you want a full update on the forecast, be sure to tune on into KENS 5 CBS at 10 o'clock, happening right now with the CBS affiliate in San Antonio. Charlotte says, my poor fur baby needs to go to the bathroom. Charlotte, I think it was either you or somebody else on our Facebook Live a couple weeks ago who had this same issue. I know that my dog is at home probably having to go to the bathroom too. Hopefully the lightning can calm down in the next 30 minutes to where he can get out and use it. John Coker says, we just got attacked by Fat Thor on northwest side. It cleared up quite a bit. Yeah, John, thankfully things are now quieting down on the northwest side. Still a little bit of lightning there, still some heavy rain. But, man, the northwest side had a really strong push of wind move through just about 45 minutes ago, I would say. Some of the strongest winds that we have had from this whole complex of storms moved through the northwest side and caused a lot of power outages throughout there. So I hope you have power yourself. Gina says, no electricity to watch TV. Gina, don't worry. I'm still staying on here and giving updates, though. I won't be hopping off until this severe thunderstorm warning is done. And, of course, if we get more severe weather through, I'm hopping right back on here and giving updates. Victoria says, headed out to Paradise Canyon tomorrow. Beautiful spot here in South Texas if you've never been, by the way. What are the chances of flooding for that area? I would say, Victoria, it's possible, but this is one of those events where the water will go up and go down very quickly. So maybe a little bit murky. Give it about a day. Maybe it'll clear up a little bit. But I would say by tomorrow morning things should be quieter down there towards Paradise Canyon. How's I-10 near Kirby? I'm still seeing some storms through there, but again, nothing too serious. It looks like the stronger part of the storms are now actually out of Bexar County and into portions of Wilson County and down into Guadalupe County. Now let me check the severe level again. Still not severe hail. Maybe some pea-sized hail southwest of Seguin, closer to New Berlin, and maybe just northeast of Lavernia. But I'm seeing what road that is, guys. Let me see. Almost Loop. So maybe some pea-sized hail there near Santa Clara, south of Seguin too. I'm not concerned with that. And I would not be concerned if I had my car out there on Texas 123. So no big issues there. Wind, checking wind again. That's been the main issue. Not seeing any more issues with wind, it looks like. Let me look all the way down here to Floresville too. Yeah, not seeing any serious issues. Possibly some strong wind in San Marcos, but nothing too crazy. Sean wanting to know about the rivers right now. Let me go ahead and take a look at the river forecast real quick. I actually have the hydrologic prediction services page up on my computer here. I can't share that with y'all, unfortunately, but I can at least check it real quick. So it looks like the Frio River is forecast to go into a moderate flood tomorrow morning. They are expecting a bit of a flood to come down the river. Medina River could peak at 15 feet there in southern Bexar County. That's going to be the Medina River near Somerset, rather. Medina River at San Antonio, US 281 South, could peak at 19 feet tomorrow morning. So heads up if you're in that area. Really, actually, looks like it'll peak tomorrow night. So the water could take some time to get downriver. San Antonio River at Elmendorf may peak at 33 feet. Guys, right now, that river's only at 11 feet. And it's forecast to rise all the way up to 33. So That's going to peak at Sunday morning at around 9 a.m. They're forecasting. But the river's going to rise quick in spots. The Medina River at Bandera, no forecast there, no issue. Hondo Creek, no big issues there. But guys, just a quick update on what these rivers are doing. Let me check the Guadalupe and the Blanco because I know it is. I know what weekend it is, Memorial Day weekend. I know we've had some historic floods there. No issues forecast. Not even expected to go into the action stage. So no issues. If anything does happen, though, I'll be sure to let you know. No issues on the Guadalupe. What about work for tomorrow morning? Nathan, no problems. Power out in Converse. No hail yet in Seguin, just loud thunderstorms. Yeah, likely not going to see any hail in Seguin, thankfully. So the severe thunderstorm warning now has been trimmed back. Bexar County no longer included in a severe thunderstorm warning. However, the warning does continue for Gonzales County, Wilson County, and Guadalupe County, as well as up into parts of Comal, Hayes, and Caldwell. I will say this, though. I think that for Comal County, it's pretty much done. And for Hayes County, I would say done. And I would say Caldwell County. Not really any issues for you. I think the main issue area that the National Weather Service is holding on to is the possibility for some strong winds right through here near Seguin. But honestly, I'm not even seeing many issues on radar for that either. Any more severe weather tonight, Megan? I'm not thinking so. I think we're going to be okay. Take a wider look at the map. Let's look off to the north and west. There are a few more storms. Notice right up here south of San Angelo. Seeing a brief period of storms move through. Nothing severe with those. And I don't expect anything severe either with those, by the way. And then we're going to have these storms continue to kind of dip south through the region. So don't be surprised if you wake up throughout the night, you hear some thunder, see some lightning, hear some rain on the roof. It's definitely possible. But as far as the severe stuff's concerned, I'm not as worried. You notice the severe weather moving into parts of West Texas. I think those will collapse as they continue south and east, and they should not be as much of a problem. Any tornado warnings? The answer is no. So guys, I'm just checking out a few things here on the computer. Give me 1 second, checking with the National Weather Service on a few things. So there's a report at Olmos Park of a flash flood. Street and road flooding reported and cars stranded here in parts of Bexar County. Not good to hear. Again, when you encounter flooding, turn around, don't drown. Still the flash flood warning until 12:30 a.m. That's why the National Weather Service issued that warning, is because flooding could be possible. We still have the severe thunderstorm watch until 2 a.m. But again, I think that after these storms are through, that's it. Not expecting any more issues. That's why Kerr County is no longer under a severe thunderstorm watch. That's why Gillespie County is no longer under a severe thunderstorm watch. Valverde, Edwards, Kinney, Real, Maverick, no longer under a watch, because it's not expected to continue any more severe weather for them. I think soon we're going to see Zavala, Dimmitt, Frio, Medina, Uvalde. I don't know if I said Medina yet. Yeah, I think I did. Bandera, as well as Kendall County, and possibly even Bexar County get removed from this watch. We could see that happen soon. What will the weather be like in Floresville tomorrow? I think it's going to be nice. Quieter conditions. Still going to be a chance for a few brief showers, though. Give me 1 second, guys. Bill Taylor actually, he just lost his graphics, I think, on the show, and I'm trying to help him out real quick. He's actually using my graphics right now. I'm trying to pop up the 7-day forecast for him. So if you're actually watching Kent's 5 CBS, he's had a graphic hiccup, it looks like, and I'm trying to help him out with something real quick. Goodness. All right, we're able to help him out real quick. All right, sorry about that, guys. Just had to make sure that he could get the information to people on TV real quick. But still, again, we still have the flash flood warning in place for parts of San Antonio. That is Bexar County and Tucumã County, Guadalupe County. That's going to be what we're mainly watching here. Give me 1 second to relay something here to the newsroom, guys. Give me 1 second. All right, guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. So we just had a little bit of a graphic system issue here at the station. Sometimes when these graphics have been going on for so long, they can end up having a little bit of a hiccup. Just like if you had your computer running for too long and it would say, had a little bit of problem, and sometimes you have to restart it. Well, sometimes it happens to you when you're on TV. And it just happened here a moment ago here at Kent's 5. It's happened to me a lot of times. But we were able to help Bill out here a little bit while it was going on. So the siren that went off in Leon Valley was a flood siren. Jordan, thank you for that report. Thanks for letting me know. I have heard that. That is a thing, and that is not uncommon, especially in a place like San Antonio, where it's flash flood alley. And Leon Valley has a lot of low water crossings throughout that area, all the way up through the Oakland Estates neighborhood. That lets people know, hey, don't drive across the low water areas. We've got flooding that is going to occur. We have heavy rain, and there's the flash flood warning in place. That lets people know, okay, we need to make sure that we don't drive through the flooded spots, and we need to make sure that we don't get ourselves into a dangerous situation. Allison says, still have some thunder in Universal City. Yep, that's likely. Let's see here. Just started raining in Pleasanton. How will the weather be like in the Sac area tomorrow? Still going to be a 20% chance for rain, but not going to be like this, thank goodness. And guys, we just had a new severe thunderstorm warning issued, and honestly, I'm a little surprised by this one. But for Atascosa County, Karnes County, Wilson County, Guadalupe County, Gonzales County, and man, this is a big one too. Stretching over into Cuero, in DeWitt County rather, Lavaca County. That's a huge severe thunderstorm warning. Let me see why they issued this one. This warning was issued for 60 mile per hour wind gusts being possible. Hail is not an issue, but damage from strong winds could be possible. So I'm going to bring this up. I want to see where some of the strong winds they're thinking could be. And right now, some strong winds in Stockdale, but nothing too serious. Maybe some strong winds associated on the north side here, located closer on towards Lockhart and maybe near Luling. I don't see any wild, super serious winds, though, associated with this. They may end up letting this severe thunderstorm warning even cancel early. Well, I just have to watch it closely. So this does include Atascosa County, stretching into Wilson County and into parts of Karnes, DeWitt, Hayes, and Lavaca County, and Wilson County. Seeing if there's any new reports from the National Weather Service. And I don't see anything new coming in. Now, guys, I may have to turn my system over to Weather Chief Bill Taylor. Uh-oh, did we lose connection? Hey guys, I've got a blank screen on my end, but if you can still see everything, just let me know in the chat. I'm going to assume that it's just my phone, and we're just going to keep going, but unfortunately, until the internet from my phone corrects itself, I'm not going to be able to answer any questions, so I apologize, guys. But we still have the Atascosa County severe thunderstorm warning stretching all the way up into Wilson County, Karnes County, DeWitt, Gonzales. And again, if you're just now joining, and if, let's say, Jenny is one of our loyal viewers here from southeast Atascosa County, and I told her she's going to be fine, just a few rumbles of thunder and rain. Jenny, there's a severe thunderstorm warning out there, but I can still guarantee you're just getting a little bit of thunder and rain. I don't expect anything severe for Atascosa County. Wilson County, down towards Floresville, still could be some strong winds. Nixon could see some strong winds. Seeing a lot less lightning with this storm. You know, let me zoom out. I'm sorry about all the zooming in, zooming out, guys. But let me go ahead and put a pause here. Let's put a counter on the lightning strikes. 205 now. So compared to what we had at 9:55, see how electric this storm was at about 9:55. 432. So we've cut that number in half in just about the last 30 minutes, the last hour. So yeah, last 30 minutes, we've cut that number in half. The storm should continue to weaken as it moves through. Still could put some strong winds through Gonzales and Nixon and down into parts of Karnes County. But I'm not as concerned with this storm anymore. So not seeing really much of anything behind it. We do have some storms further off to the north and west near Sonora. Those storms are going to dip down to the south and east. And guys, you know, I want to be able to answer your questions. My phone is not being very helpful right now. I'm not sure what happened to the internet with my phone. But I have internet right here in front of me on this computer. So I'm going to go ahead and log into Facebook and give you some answers that way. Give me 1 second. I'm bringing up the live right here myself. Just give me just a second, guys. Got it. All right. Still live. Yeah, I see it is still running. Jenny says, I'm not worried tonight for a change. Good news. Yeah, I don't think there's any reason for you to be worried. Lots of rolling thunder and lightning flashes in Wilson County. Yep, definitely still seeing that on radar. Still going to be some strong wind, but not seeing as much of an issue for you. See here. How's tomorrow looking in the Somerset areas? I'm not seeing much of an issue there either. Heather says, I can see you. Lost power in Floresville. How long is the storm expected here? I'd say give it another about 15 to 30 minutes in Floresville and it'll start to move out. A lot of people saying they can still see. Sorry, guys. I couldn't see the chat there for about a full 10 to 15 minutes, but I see everybody saying we can see. Of course, I wasn't able to see the chat even on my phone because my phone, for some reason, gave up on the internet on me. Maybe an outage with my provider. So hopefully that gets fixed itself. But I'm glad everyone's able to see and still hear the updates. That's why I kept going instead of just cutting. I felt like I was still able to be seen and heard. So I could only hope that. I'm going to bed then. Thanks for keeping us posted. Angie, no problem. A lot of wind between Pleasanton and Poteet. Yeah, definitely some strong winds moving through there at this moment. If I zoom down through, we'll see exactly where that's occurring. There it is, where we have a little bit of thunderstorm activity. But again, I would not expect that to be anything severe. If I check out the wind speeds through here, yeah, that's nothing too much to be concerned about. Definitely some strong winds, but nothing too concerning showing up there for our friends in Pleasanton. Now looking further off to the north and east, Floresville just had a pretty good gust of wind go through, but that was likely maybe up to 50, maybe barely 60 miles per hour there north of Floresville. But it looks like it has weakened as it continued its way south and east. Gillette down towards Karnes City, likely still strong. Stockdale likely had a strong gust of wind go through. And again, not as strong for our friends up towards Seguin. Let me bring back up radar. This is now our only thunderstorm warning out there. Covers a big area though, from Caldwell County into portions of Fayette County, all the way through Gonzales County, Lavaca, DeWitt, Karnes, Atascosa, and Wilson, and Guadalupe, if I haven't said Guadalupe just yet. No power in the Basse-McCullough area. Can I drive a New Braunfels? Yes. The answer is I think you're going to be fine to go out and drive a New Braunfels, but please try to avoid flooded areas. Ricky says, is there any more rain during the night? Yeah, late tonight, early tomorrow morning, Ricky, we could have a few more showers and storms through, but I would not expect anything severe from those. What's the situation at 16 and 1604? My hubs is stuck over there. Yeah, there's some water that has ponded on the roads in some spots. That's likely the problem. We have had a little bit of road flooding. That's why the flash flood warning is in place until 12:30 a.m. No power in Kirby right now from Michael. Joni's saying the wind is crazy here in Pleasanton. Yeah, likely really strong wind right there in Pleasanton right now. Because as these storms die, they push out a lot of wind. Merlin says, can you give a shout out to us first responders? It's actually my night out off, but not for long. Yeah, Merlin, big shout out to y'all. I mean, this is, I totally get that feeling of, when it's your night off, but when storms happen, you're on. You expect to be on. I got that a couple weeks ago whenever it was a Wednesday night. And of course, it's easier for me whenever I'm inside this room. It's cool, it's dry. I'm not out there in heavy rain and really in the elements. Y'all are working a lot harder, but I mean, I get the whole, it's your night off, but all of a sudden you're on. I hope that you have a safe night. I hope that you end up not having to do too much work, but I hope that we also don't get too much in the way of damage for the rest of the evening and the night quiets down. It has been very active for our first responders. A big shout out to them. They have been working hard to keep everybody safe that has decided to venture out in these storms where we've had a lot of heavy rain, a lot of hard work from the linemen and women who are trying to keep power on in the city. We have had a lot of power outages. They are going to be working throughout the night to restore power, to make sure everybody can wake up to air conditioning, their food is safe in their fridge, and make sure that this city continues to run hard. So thank you to everybody out there who's a first responder and all those linemen and women who are working hard as these thunderstorms move through. And how hard have they had to work throughout the last 2 months? We've had a lot of thunderstorm activity. It's been very active. So a big shout out to them. Felicia says, just got a flood alert on my phone. Yes, we do have a flash flood warning until 12:30. That is why. So still pretty strong winds moving through. Let me actually check another radar site just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Pop it down here to the Corpus Christi radar site. Then I'll check the Houston radar. It's kind of out of reach. So the go-to radar is going to be the one in New Braunfels. But yeah, really strong wind down towards Pleasanton. Likely down towards Karnes County, getting strong wind now. Maybe towards Karnes City in just a moment. We have strong wind moving into western Gonzales County. And again, the severe thunderstorm warning continues. Definitely seeing less and less lightning with this storm. If I go ahead and pause this and get an idea of the amount of lightning, we're now down to 160. So 30 minutes ago at 10 o'clock, we had 297. And now we're down to 157 actually. That's the latest. So less and less lightning lets us know that the updraft has weakened. Just bumped up to 158, but still not too concerned about it. But less and less lightning in the storm lets us know that we are seeing not as much in the way of issues. The updraft is weakening. Still showers and thunderstorms in San Antonio, but again, that should continue to move out. This severe thunderstorm warning, by the way, is issued until 11:30 p.m. Looking out towards Wilson County, Atascosa County, Karnes County, Gonzales County, that's where a lot of the rain is occurring right now. Cuero, you're probably saying, well, I got thunderstorms from my southeast too. What's the severe stuff? It's the stuff that's located closer on towards Wilson County and Gonzales. Still has about 30 minutes till it gets to you, though. And it looks like my phone's not going to reconnect to the internet. I'm not sure what happened, guys. So let's see here. Where's the second round for Helotes, Stephanie? No real second round. Maybe some more rain later on early tomorrow morning while you're sleeping, but should be out of here by the time you wake up. Pool party tomorrow in Spring Branch. Worked my tail off in the yard all day. How are we looking for tomorrow afternoon in Spring Branch, Comal County? Maybe a brief shower or two, Jeff, but nothing too crazy. Should be fine. How fast is the storm moving? Joni wants to know. It's moving off to the south and east about 40 miles per hour. And I'm not seeing any new questions come in. So guys, again, we still have the severe thunderstorm watch in place until 2 a.m. They still haven't trimmed off any more counties other than Blanco and Gillespie, Kerr, Real, Edwards, Valverde, Kinney, and Maverick. But I'm willing to bet they trim off more of the counties from this severe thunderstorm watch within the next, I'd say, about 30 minutes. Let me go ahead and actually check in with the National Weather Service, see if they have any new reports. The fire department reported a rescue in Windcrest. Water rescue occurring near Old Connor and Lookout Road. Maybe somebody that had been crossing the road in their car, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait to see more on that report. There was also a report of flash flooding up for our neighbors in Austin that came in with the National Weather Service. Large trees were blown over in Fayette County. A lot of thunderstorm wind damage in Fayette County. And then, of course, that severe thunderstorm warning, which just continues for parts of our region. So remember, we still do have that flash flood warning again for San Antonio until 12:30 a.m. We still also have the severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Wilson County, stretching into Gonzales County, Comal County, DeWitt, Karnes, Atascosa, and Lavaca County until about 11:30 p.m. Jeff says, thank you for the coverage. No problem. Thanks for staying on. No problem, guys. It's Texas crazy weather. Yeah, that's right, Terry. It has been pretty crazy weather as we've made our way throughout today. And really tonight, most of the day was actually pretty much fine. I'm glad that we got a lot of graduations in. Congrats to all the grads out there. Now the rain has really moved in, and it's going to be off and on here as we make our way throughout tonight. Seeing a few showers pop up over towards Del Rio. I would say no concerns with those. We'll keep a close eye on those. But no real concerns with those closer to Del Rio. Oh, my graphic system zoomed in real quick. That was odd. Down towards Frio County near Pearsall, we have a little bit of shower activity developing. But I'm willing to bet that will be fairly short-lived. I'm willing to bet that actually is going to be outflow from the storms that we had kind of collapse as they moved through. The ones that are moving through San Antonio, I'm willing to bet as those storms collapsed, they kicked out an outflow boundary, and it caused more storms to fire up. Actually, I see that outflow boundary. Let me draw this. Y'all may be actually really interested in seeing this. So, take a look right here. This is actually really cool, guys. We're going to do a little bit of a science explainer here on the Facebook Live. Watch right through here. You see those green lines that I just drew through northeast of Uvalde? Try to watch the map. Watch as these green lines move in this direction. Now through Uvalde. Now they continue south and west. And as they move south and west, imagine a bulldozer going under a warm and humid air mass, and it pushes it up. That causes the rising motion, and it causes showers to form along an outflow boundary. So that outflow from the thunderstorm kicked out and formed new showers beyond it. Nothing severe with those, just a little bit of rain caused by the death of another thunderstorm. Isn't that amazing? But that's actually really common with sea breezes and stuff along the coastline. You see that pretty much every day in the summertime down towards Florida, stretching across the northern Gulf of Mexico too. Stefan wondering, any word about a power explosion near Sam's Burger joint? I haven't heard about that, Stefan, but it may have been a transformer. Sometimes when we get these thunderstorms through, they can cause transformers to blow. Our caller says, I'm in Windcrest, peek out the door, and the storm is moving south and east while white clouds are moving west. Why is that? Different speeds and different directions of wind in the atmosphere. So storms may be moving southeast due to the wind pushing them in that direction at that level. But at a different level in the atmosphere, at the surface, let's say, we may be having more of a southeasterly wind, or you were saying they were moving west. Yeah, let's say we have an easterly wind, which means that it's moving things to the west. So the storms may be moving this way because in that level of the atmosphere, higher up, wind is pushing it that way. Lower level, maybe pushing winds in a different direction. I hope that's a good explainer for you. Rhine Valley subdivision in Schertz is without power. I hope you can get power back soon, Karen. So, severe thunderstorm warning still continues. Checking hail again. I want to make sure we're not missing anything. Nothing. No hail out there. I see no issues. Checking on the big board just to make sure. We've got another monitor here that I use to kind of keep an eye on the radar. Sometimes it gives me a clearer look than the screen I have in front of me. Checking out wind speeds again. That was the main concern earlier on. Not seeing as much of an issue anymore. And I'm wondering if the National Weather Service continues with this warning. They may let it go early. Let's see here. That's not a new update from the National Weather Service just yet. So guys, they're holding on to it for now. Let's go ahead and see the amount of lightning strikes within the last 15 minutes. $141, and I selected a lot bigger area than what I selected before. So guys, this, did they just cancel it? They did. Guys, I just talked about it, how I was like, I would not be surprised if they canceled the severe thunderstorm warning early, and they have. So The severe thunderstorm warning is canceled. We no longer have any severe warnings for the South Texas region. We do have heavy rain if you're in Cuero. Don't be surprised if you get a lot of lightning, heavy rain, and some gusty winds through soon. But we no longer have any severe warnings. With that being said, I am going to sign off. So I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Still more lightning, still more rain. Not seeing anything severe out there anymore. We're going to continue to keep you all updated throughout the night. If anything else happens, we'll be in-house giving you updates on anything severe that could move through. But looking like we'll have a quieter night ahead of us and a quieter weekend. So, still a few storms out there for the coastal plains. Nothing too crazy. Stay safe, avoid floodwaters, and have a very memorable and meaningful Memorial Day weekend.